Check 1 2 3. Welcome to Cravens Field. Check 1 2 3. Cloudy skies tonight. Lamar versus Richland. 2-0 versus 0-3. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. 50-yard line seat.
Testing there. There we go. 5, 6, 7. 49.5-yard line.
Our cheer tailgates will be on October 25 and October 11, which will also be our pink out games.
Hello, Viking fans, and welcome to this broadcast of Lamar Viking Varsity Football. I'm Bill Frawley. I'll be doing the play-by-play. Along with me tonight is Steve Langford, who'll be doing color commentary. Steve, how are you doing tonight?
I am pleased to be here, ready for some good football.
Excellent. Well, it should be a pretty decent matchup tonight. Got some interesting weather throughout the day, kind of some sprinkles here and there. It's been overcast. It's been sunny. Now it's, I'd say, right over the playing field at Cravens, it's partly cloudy. You look to the north, it's dark. Look to the south, it's very cloudy. Winds are blowing out of the south pretty strong. I don't have a speed, but I'm going to guess it's kind of steady at about 20 miles an hour. So it's 93 degrees here in Arlington at Cravens Field. So cooler than it was a couple of weeks ago for our last game. Also in the booth tonight are Al Qualman, Tim Perry, Darren, and then, of course, our producer, Jay Ryan. We're at Cravens Field on the campus of Lamar High School on the north side of Arlington, Texas. Lamar brings a record of 2-0 into tonight's game, having defeated Byron Nelson and Garland Naaman Forest Rangers in their first two games. The Vikings are coming off of an open week, so they should be pretty much at full health and ready to go. Coach DeLay mentioned in this week's coaches show that they've had the luxury of holding some players to limited or no playing time to get them healed up and 100% ready for district play. Richland is 0-3 for the first time since 2015. They lost their first game 55-3 to Frisco Lone Star, their second one 23-13 against Keller Central, and last week they came out on the short end against Rockwall Heath 47-18. Got some weather stats for us there, Steve.
15 miles per hour from the southeast.
Wasn't a bad guess when I said 20, huh?
You're doing good, 93 degrees.
I took one semester of meteorology back in the 1980s, and I guess something stuck with me. Lamar and Richland have played 17 times over the years. Lamar leads the series 14-3, and they've won the last 8 in a row. A Viking win tonight would give them a 3-0 start for the third time in 3 seasons. Third year in a row, Steve, if we can go 3-0 tonight. I think there's a pretty good chance of it.
Yes. Looking at records, looking at the season so far, Lamar should come out with a win, but as Coach Delaney says, fear no one, respect everyone.
Yep,
so you don't take anyone for granted.
Exactly right, and that's why we go ahead and play the game and don't just chalk it up beforehand. Definitely so. I want to be sure and give credit to Kevin Koslow and his Southwest Sports Research publication for some of these pregame stats and records that we've been using so far. Kevin's been doing this for the Arlington School since 1986, and so nice to do that little research and share that each week with us. Cole Benson, wearing number 10, is the starting quarterback for the Rebels. Last week, Steve, he was 14 of 25 for 200 yards with 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Now, his favorite targets apparently tend to be number 17, Seth Wells, number 21, Brandon Johnson.
Johnson is a workhorse for them. He keeps coming out of the backfield, not just as a running back, but to receive those swing passes.
Definitely so. And last week, in fact, he carried the ball 32 times on the running game, averaging, though, only 2.5 yards per rush. So, like you said, a workhorse both ways, receiving and rushing. But if our defense can hold him down, that's going to stymie their rushing game for sure. Lamar has vastly improved between their first and second games, cleaning up penalties and turnovers. There's a small rash of penalties, back in the fourth quarter 2 weeks ago, but that was when the Vikings basically had mostly non-starters in the game. And that shows the importance of being able to get them in and when there's a big lead and get them some experience on the field.
And it's difficult to come off the bench and have your mind totally in the game.
Sure.
And that's when those mistakes happen.
Sure, definitely so. Now, speaking of improvements, also, Viking quarterback Jack Dawson had a much better game against Naaman Forest than the first game of the season. Part of that improvement was also due to some better blocking from the offensive line. Got his confidence up again, giving him more time to find receivers or some running lanes because, Steve, he can toss that ball, but he can find a crease and run like crazy himself.
And he's not afraid to tuck that ball in and break for the open field. And Coach Delaney talked about the offensive line, too.
Yes.
And kudos for them and their improvement.
Definitely so. Yeah, like you say, Dawson, he'll tuck his shoulder and get those extra yards. He's not just going to drop and slide like some quarterbacks tend to do. So he's definitely a threat there. I'd expect to see some more passes to Cam Brady tonight, as well as some of his other targets, Cameron Weil and so on. And, will we see some of Trayvon West tonight? Is he healed up? Is he ready to play? We'll have to see. Haven't seen him in the first 2 games so far, but with that off week as well, perhaps we'll see him out there tonight.
We miss calling his name and number.
Yes, sir, we do. But it's so wild. Lamar has this stable of receivers that, you go 3 left and 2 right, and everyone is someone you've got to watch out for, and that keeps the defenses on their toes, wouldn't you say?
Who are you going to double?
Exactly. Yeah. What don't you want? But also like senior Colt Fuller, tight end, very talented. He'll go out for a short pass, or he'll come in motion, take a handoff, and he'll tuck and run. And so as we transition with that comment into our running game, Caleb Phillips and Anthony Williams, along with Jack Dawson, one of the quarterback keepers of the zone reads, man, they're tearing up some defenses for some yardage.
And again, it goes back to that offensive line and the holes they're opening. So, when you get to the second level before you get hit, you can make some yards.
Definitely so. And I think one of the keys, and Coach DeLay will say this on the coaches show, and I talk to him sometimes on the side, this team is really bonding, and that's what he has, this is his 5th season here now. And his theme is one. His mantra is one. One team, one community, one culture. And it really shows in how these players support each other. Back when, if a player's having a rough game or makes a bad play, they don't get on each other, they'll encourage. And in the same way, when you've got them blocking for each other and you've got them helping each other, everything clicks.
From the storms down in Houston and in southeast Texas.
So on special teams, sophomore kicker Blake Ford, man, he is something else.
He is fun to watch.
A sophomore, and he's doing so well. I was up here last night announcing freshman games, and remembered last year he was a freshman kicking. Sure, the freshman coaches wish they had him back, or JV wishes they had him, but he is a stud out there kicking extra points and field goals.
Last week he was kicking it into the end zone or out of the end zone, and tonight he's got a wind behind him.
Yes, there's a 15 mile an hour, like you said. But what's cool is he can also pooch it, he can squib it. He'll put that ball wherever the coaches want him to catch the receiving team off guard at times too. So I expect to see him on Saturdays in a few years,
And that kicking game is an unrecognized weapon.
It is. And speaking of that kicking game, Preston Gomez is the deep snapper. Of course, Jack Dawson, the quarterback, as usual, or typical, he's the holder. But Preston Gomez coming off of an injury of baseball last year, and he's back at full strength. And that takes something, especially if they've got a nose guard on you, to snap that ball right to the spot. And like you say, it's a whole thing that goes together.
And Gomez, as that snapper, is the point of that wedge, and they're trying to crash that very point.
Definitely so. Well, on defense, the Vikings are going to be challenged up the middle and around the end, like we said, talking about Brandon Johnson that we mentioned. But, we've got these guys like Eric Williams, Keswin Kinney, James Grondo, and on the line, basically, and then Joey Hartley coming in from the defensive back position. I have a feeling Johnson's going to meet his match tonight with these guys on our defensive line and defensive backs.
Johnson's a short guy, 5'8", and so he's got a low center of gravity. So our guys will have to hit him, not do this arm tackling attempt.
True. Now that is a good point. And some of us who are in that 5'8", 5'9" range, Steve, we prefer the term vertically challenged.
Well, as a running back, that's a low center of gravity. There you go.
All right. So, but anyway, Kobe Long, Harold West, sometimes Sir Dorm, they'll be attacking the passing game. We've already been calling their names lots of times, breaking up passes, intercepting passes. So, like I say, on paper, the way it weighs out, it really should be a nice victory for the Vikings. But again, you can't get overconfident on the field, up here, in the stands, anywhere. And, again, that's why they're going to play the game. The Fort Worth Star-Telegram had an article a few weeks ago and listed their top 50 Metroplex football players. enlisted Trayvon West at number 12, and reported, and from what I understand, he's already committed to go play at Oklahoma.
Wow.
And quarterback Jack Dawson was listed at number 22 on that list. He's had offers from at least Louisville and Illinois, I believe. And so we've got some, in the Metroplex with, only about 6 million people here. I don't have any students, but yeah, we've got 2 of them, and that says a lot for those young men and what they're doing.
And it also says a lot for this program and this coaching philosophy.
Definitely so. Well, like I mentioned before, this is Coach DeLay's 5th season at the helm here at Lamar, and so not just this year, last year, but it's officially his program. He's settled in. He's got the coaches into it, and they're buying into it. And he's actually brought a couple of new coaches in over the years, and the players are buying into this culture. And so this is a great environment for football here at Lamar.
Yeah. These kids have grown up under his program, and so they're his.
They have. This is his 2nd freshman class to become seniors, if that makes sense, the way I'm saying that. Well, speaking of some of that type of stuff, I'm going to mention one thing. We've mentioned JV freshmen a little bit. Last night I was up here. 2nd time I've announced freshman games this year on Thursday night. They've got a quarterback, sizable guy, his John Christopher, and they call him Big John. And he is a big guy, and he can throw that ball downfield. He runs like a fullback. He'll drag 3 or 4 players with him, and he is fun to watch. And it'll be interesting to see how he evolves over the next couple of years out of the freshman program.
Watching him play 2 weeks ago, when I saw him, he's got a rifle for an arm.
He does, you're right.
He doesn't throw the ball with an arch. Man, it's a bullet.
It is true, yeah. And it goes where it's supposed to go. And then, like I say, he can drag some guys. So there's a lot of good stuff coming up out of the freshman and JV ranks to look forward to in this program that Coach DeLay has established. Well, speaking of some of that kind of stuff and the culture and what goes on after Lamar, we started this a little bit last time, and I'm doing some of this on the Coaches Show, but kind of a where are they now segment, if we will. And so I was going to just talk a little bit about Shane Buechele, who is a senior over at SMU, quarterback. He went off to the University of Texas, actually started all 12 games in his freshman year at Texas, completed 236 of 391 yards for almost 3,000 yards, and that was a UT freshman record. And then, of course, as there's competition and so
new coaches
new coaches come in and stuff, and so Shane's role there on the field, under or behind the center, diminished. But I got to tell you, this young man has so much character. To watch how he handled that whole situation, to where he was eventually mainly on the sidelines. But you see in the games on TV, he's got the headset on, he's got a clipboard, he's working with whoever, the coaches, the players, and just an example of character.
And supporting the new quarterback. Yeah.
Ellinger.
Yeah, he exhibited a great deal of character.
Definitely so.
Maturity.
And you know what's so cool now? You get to watch him or listen. I was listening to a game on the radio a couple Saturdays ago, and it's just so cool hearing his name. Another touchdown pass, Shane Buechele, or runs up this. And I'm just so glad to see him thriving over at Ford Field on the campus of SMU. And I know his family is excited about that. And again, that whole family, the Buechele family, is just incredible. The parents, all the kids, everyone.
And so Shane continues to excel.
Yep. So he had limited number of years, maybe only one with Coach Laban DeLay here at Lamar. But again, I know at least some of that rubbed off with Shane. And so that's part of that. So right now we're going to tell you what's going on. Of course, this is Football Friday night in Texas. We're not allowed to show live coverage of the game on the field. So we're basically doing a radio broadcast. We have a camera trained onto the scoreboard. Right now the captains are out at midfield doing, and I'll go ahead and give this secret away, it's a mock coin toss. We talked about this on the Coaches Show last year one time. They've already done the coin toss in the locker room. And I asked Coach DeLay one time, I said, why do y'all do that? And he goes, we don't want to take a chance that someone goes out here and goofs it up. And I've heard a story about a sub-varsity game one time where the coaches told the captain, we want the ball. And he went out and won the toss and said, we're going to defer. And somehow in the second half, the other team ended up with the ball again. So they went from at least one reception, at the beginning of the game to they had to kick both times. So, So it's those kinds of things that make these mock coin tosses. So Richland won the coin toss. They've deferred until the second half. I'm guessing that was what the official decision back was. So now Lamar is going to be defending the north end zone. They'll receive the kickoff.
And the wind will be in their face.
Yes, for the first quarter and the third quarter. Now, if we can get up there and turn that fan down and turn that wind off, or just when we're going south. So if you are listening to this and you're kind of looking at your computer screen or phone, or just imagine it, Vikings will be going left to right, Rebels right to left. Captains have left the field, and our captains tonight, if I can grab these real quick.
Number 7 was Jack Dawson. Number 10, Harold West.
11 and 14.
Yeah, 14 is Caleb Phillips, and then, of course, Cam Brady, number 11.
Thank you, Steve, for picking those up so quickly. So they've gone back behind the Viking tunnel and just waiting to run out onto the field through the line of the Vikings, and we've got some youth out there with the Vikings that have probably been going through some dance school with them and stuff, and now the Vikings are coming onto the field, led by the Thor Corps, cheerleaders, and the lead players on the field carrying the American flag and the Viking flag.
Javion Moore.
Javion Moore carrying the flag?
Well, running beside it.
Okay, gotcha. And now the Rebels are coming onto the field.
Followed by some Rebels to be.
Yep.
And I love that they're following the model of Rebels to be, Vikings to be.
Yeah, I was going to kind of let that go and then just blend into it. But yes, we have some probably some Shackelford and Nichols students out here. They might be junior high. You know, those actually look like they might be Optimus League players. Mm-hmm. And now we've got one kid. He's running back through the line. He didn't have enough coming out one way. He wants to make it through the Vikings.
He liked that.
Yeah. I think I'll just go for seconds. Well, we're about 3.5 minutes from kickoff again. It's turning into a fairly nice day. The sun is hidden behind the clouds, so that won't bother anyone. The lights are starting to have some effect. We're about 92, 93 degrees, and that wind still probably out of the southeast at about 15, 20 miles an hour. The flag is continually whipping around up there, and all the Lamar flags at the top of the home side of the stands are waving proudly also. I'm going to turn our mics down. We're going to turn up the ambience so you can hear the national anthem. We'll be right back.
Cravens Field, Friday night football.
Well, Steve, we've had the coin toss. We've had the players all crash out onto the field. We've had the national anthem. We're ready to go.
And the stands are filling up over here on the Viking side and scattering of Rebels on the other.
Definitely so. Hey, just want to remind folks, if you ever get a chance and you want to, you can listen to the, I've made reference to this, the Coach DeLay Viking Coaches Show. He and I talk once a week. We usually record that on Monday nights. and that gets posted either Monday night or Tuesday morning to the website. You can go to lamarvikings.com and click on the link to Coach DeLay Show, and you can listen to the current one or go back and listen to previous ones from the season. We keep them all there. Fun part of that is I never know where I'm going to be on a Monday night. Traveling so much, sometimes I've been in El Paso, Amarillo. This coming week, I think I'll be in Waco when we do it. But that's the magic of teleconferencing. Teams are on the field. Deep for the Vikings, it looks like number 20, Kobe Long, and number 22.
No, 17.
Oh, number 17, Chandler Mrugalski.
It's easy for you to say.
I've practiced.
All right.
Well, the wind blew the football off the tee already. The kicker for the Rebels is number 22, Easton Barnes.
Colt Fuller is right in the middle on that second line of receivers.
You know, that's a good point, Steve, because should they try to get fancy or cute and squib something that gets through our first line of guys, if they get it to Colt Fuller, they're going to wish they hadn't.
And right beside him is Cam Brady.
Definitely so. So be sure to listen to that coach's show each week and get in some more inside information. Well, the kick is up, and it is going to be fielded at the 2-yard line. It's muffed. He picks it back up, comes across the 5, the 10, 15, 20. Mrugalski, there's a flag on the play that's going to be a hold or a push in the back. So he's going to get back out to the 37-yard line, but the flag is there, and it looks like the infraction probably occurred somewhere around the 25-yard line.
And it is a hold.
Holding against Lamar is the indication.
So holding against Lamar.
From 25.
And that'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
But Chandler did a good job after he muffled it of picking his way up the field and made it up.
He did, because
some 35 yards.
He first touched the ball at about the 3, picked it up at the 1.5 or so, and like I say, made it all the way out to the 37 with or without the help of the penalty. So the Vikings will start 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line. Jack Dawson, the quarterback. Caleb Phillips will be behind him. Trips left, single right. And remember, when we say trips, that means 3 receivers. Dawson fakes. He gets to Cameron Weil. He's going to be pulled down at about the 18-yard line. About a 3-yard gain. We'll see where they mark it exactly. So he did a little bit of a fake handoff and immediately threw to his left over in the flat. Cameron Weil, one of those trips in the left, slot receiver.
That fake to the running back is to draw those
now we've got
linebackers
trips
out.
right and single left. Caleb Phillips behind Dawson, steps back, looks over to the far sideline. It's snagged one-handed.
One-handed snag.
And that's going to be number 11, Cam Brady, who we said we'd probably be calling his name a fair amount again tonight. And that's a Lamar Viking first down right at the line to make the 25-yard line. So 2 for 2 already. Jack Dawson is on passing. 10 yards total. Trips right, single left again. Phillips behind Dawson in the backfield. Dawson steps back. He's got time. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. He'll be pulled down back at the 20.
Sacked at the 20.
Looks like number 25 in the sack, Ethan Heinrich. And I think number 13, Will Fleischer, was back there applying pressure also. So now we're behind the chains on 2nd down and 15. Trips left this time, single right.
Oh, keeper
to the left for Dawson. He'll get 5 yards back to the 25-yard line, back to the original line of scrimmage, but now it's 3rd down and 10. Little zone read there. That might have been a fake all the way, but he looked to see if he wanted to give it to Caleb Phillips. He said nope, went around the left side.
He kind of likes to run that ball some.
He does, and he's good at it. So here we are, 3rd and 10. Trips right, single left. Phillips behind Dawson. Dawson steps back, throws down.
Deep, and he's got
Cam Brady is there, and that should be a flag. What?
He reached for his flag, but didn't pull it.
Wow. I guess because he turned around and looked at the ball, even though he ran into Brady, that'll bring up 4th down and 10.
Well, Jack actually underthrew and didn't lead him enough, so
yeah,
he had to come back for the ball, and the defender
well defended by the player, yeah.
Dawson to punt.
Okay, Dawson's going to punt. It looks like, is that number 1?
Nelson, number 1 deep.
C.J. Nelson's deep for the Rebels.
And he's not that deep.
Pretty decent punt into the wind.
Oh,
and
we're going to get a roll.
C.J. Nelson looked like he was diving for it, but the ball went to his right, and that's going to roll all the way down to the 27-yard line. So 27.
48-yard punt. Unofficially a 48-yard
48 yards on that punt by Dawson.
Into the wind.
Into the wind.
Of course, a lot of that was a roll.
But, hey, we'll take it.
Hey, they didn't say how it had to happen. It's just, let's get it done.
Basically just swapped into the field there with the line of scrimmage now for the Rebels. The 27-yard line, 1st and 10. 10 minutes to go in the first quarter, no score. Rebels on the field for their first time tonight. Number 10, the quarterback gets it to number 1, C.J. Nelson, but he's met immediately, and on that is number 20, Kobe Long.
Up to the 32, that's a 5-yard gain.
Also on there was number 10, Harold West.
20 making the stop. A gain of 5 yards, 2nd and
So
5.
Cole Benson, the quarterback, as we expected, he's 1 for 1, but as soon as that ball was caught, it was met by 3 Vikings. That'll be trips right, single left. Number 21, Brandon Johnson, that workhorse we talked about, is in the backfield. High snap, he bobbles it. Now it's the keeper, and he'll be met. Fumble ball, yep.
Vikings ball.
Kobe Long comes up with the loose ball for the Vikings.
At the 36.
Wow, just as he was in the spin cycle trying to get an extra yard and not go down, he coughed that ball up. Joey Hartley was in there, and along with number 3, I believe.
I think Benson was just trying to make something happen out of a busted play.
Yeah, because that snap was high. He bobbled it. He turned around and started running. When he got caught by the lineman, I think Keswin Kinney was there, among others. He kind of went into what I call the spin cycle, and he coughed the ball up. Vikings in business at the Rebel 36-yard line. Dawson flips it. Now it's going to be a pass for Cam Brady, number 19, wide open, touchdown Vikings. And did we say, will we see Trayvon West? Holy cow.
That was beautiful.
That happened so fast. So Dawson takes the snap. He goes to his left, flips it to Cam Brady, who's in motion coming this way. Cam Brady
around,
throws it to Trayvon West. There was no one in his area code.
No one around.
So speaking of extra points, Preston Gomez to snap, Dawson to hold, and here comes Blake Ford. The kick is up, it's good, and now the score 7-0. Well, nothing like a one-play scoring drive, is there?
Well, it's not the first one this season, but we'll take it.
Hey, speaking of extra we'll go ahead and read that scoring drive there, if you would, Steve. It's going to take a while.
Well, yeah, this one is hard. A 36 yards strike on one single pass play. Took 9 seconds.
Now, my son David will correct us. Technically, that counts as a first down when you score a touchdown.
Well, okay.
In the stats. All right. Well, speaking of extra points.
Can we just take the touchdown for sure?
We'll take the touchdown for sure. But, it comes down to if they start comparing stats and stuff on those tiebreaker things. But speaking of extra points, I'm going to make it an extra point to go by Dickey's Barbecue. They're such a big supporter of Lamar Viking football. You wear your Spirit wear in there, you're getting a discount. Thursday nights, they provide sandwiches at a huge discount to the Booster Club so that we can sell them and make some money and feed people. Last night, they had the sandwiches and hot links. Folks, go into Dickey's Barbecue and say thanks for supporting Lamar Viking football, if you would.
And one of my favorite Spirit attire is the
barbecue sauce on a shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
The catch at the 10-yard line to the 15-20. He's wrapped up by number 12 immediately. That's Sir Durham.
And that's their number
Sir
21.
Durham brought him down.
Brandon Johnson, their big running back,
Yeah.
received that.
So he got about 10 yards or so on the return, I believe. And now we've got a guy taking one knee. That's going to be C.J. Nelson.
It's 19-yard line.
19-yard line. So about a 9-yard return. But earlier, Steve, you said in the pregame we can't be arm tackling, and Sir Durham didn't arm tackle. He wrapped him up and took him down.
He hit him
Full
right in the
tackle.
chest.
Yeah.
Solo tackle.
Yes, sir.
Solo tackle.
1st and 10 for the Rebels at their own 19-yard line. Twins left, twins right. Johnson in the backfield with Benson. Benson throws to the far sideline.
That fast pass.
But a flag on the play.
Well, that was that quick pass to the flat and hit number 20 in the hands, and he just couldn't hold on to
Oh,
it.
not a flag. I apologize. Timeout called by the Rebels. Now that's interesting. I wasn't noticing if the play clock was going down, but he threw that ball so fast, and they blew it dead. And I thought, okay, well, there must have been a flag. So my bad on the flag, and I think I misled Jay Ryan over the speaker. But uh-oh, who's that? When Jay says I was going with the authority.
When the blind leads the blind. Well, here we go.
Tonight's game is being live audio. You can listen in to Bill Frawley's missed call of that.
Wow. Thank you so much. Jay Ryan just made sure the entire North Arlington area knows, because you can hear these speakers all over North Arlington, especially with the wind today.
Yeah.
But he wanted to make sure now everyone's going to tune in, even in the stands, to hear the missed call. Okay, well, 1st and 10 again at the 19.
But it's fun.
It's a great time up here. Twins left, twins right. Benson's back. He looks to the far side.
He's deep, man, wide open.
And just out of his reach at the 45-yard line. See, I'm going to see if I can get Jay to say 55-yard line here in a little bit. Intended receiver is number 15, Yonte Pede.
But he had 5 yards on the defender.
So now 2nd down and 10. Trips left, single right. Yeah, I actually went down to the coaches before the game to get some of these pronunciations correct. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. He has a little bit of trouble getting through the line, but makes it out for about 4 yards.
He danced around, was able to avoid some tackles in the backfield, and then picked up 4 yards.
James Douglas and Jerry Hood made the tackle for the Vikings. He got 4 yards, but Steve, it's 3rd down and 6. So
no, it should be
6.
Remember they called timeout, didn't
well,
they?
but they had the incomplete pass. That's set. Then so 2nd down they ran it.
This
Now
is
3rd
third.
down.
Yep.
Benson steps back. He throws over to this side.
Oh, broken up.
And I'll tell you what, I think Douglas may have gotten away with something there because I thought he had a hold of the receiver's shirt.
Defender for Lamar, James
But he was fighting for the ball, too.
Yeah, he was turning looking for it. But no flag, no blood, no foul, whatever you want to call it. It's 4th down, so a 3 and out here for the Vikings.
And that's a win.
Yes, it
For
is.
the defense. 3 and out.
So the punter is Jackson Wolford. He's got the wind behind him. So we've got Kobe Long at his own 45, but let's see if that ball goes over his head.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a no ball.
Low kick. Pick it up. And
He does field it, but he's hit immediately by number 17, Seth Wells. So he did pick that up on the roll. That's a little bit of a dangerous play.
It was, but the way that ball was kicked, that ball was going to be rolling for another 20 yards.
He saved his 20 yards for
Saved
sure.
20
so
yards, that's for sure.
maybe he had some stickum on his hands and he made sure he was going to catch it
And-
or hold on.
And there was a rebel right on him when he picked it up.
Yeah, Seth Wells, number 17, hit him immediately. So now the Vikings, 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line. Trips left, single right. Empty backfield for Dawson. I think they're going to pass. Steps back. He's looking.
Oh,
He's going
going deep,
downfield.
man, wide
He's got
open.
Cameron Wild. Oh, and in and out of his hands at the 25-yard line. That was right on the money, too.
I mean, you couldn't get any more wide open than that.
Yep. But that's, that stuff will happen.
That's part of high school football.
Yes, sir. Cameron Weil, a baseball player. Now, Jack Dawson used to play baseball. He didn't last year. And there may be an unofficial wager between those two about maybe Dawson has to go back and play baseball since Wiles playing football, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Weil caught a touchdown pass
He did.
last week, 2 weeks
Up
ago.
the middle to about the 42-yard line. That'll be a 3-yard gain. Caleb Phillips goes over the right side of the line. Number 13, Will Fleischer led the tackle. And then number 9, Eman Garrison.
Well, that brings up 3rd and long. Now, in the past, first 2 games, that wasn't a big deal for the Vikings. Let's see about tonight against the Rebels.
3rd and 7. They're showing blitz. He's got Phillips behind him. Now there's a flag on the play.
False start.
And someone on the line for the Vikings jumped, apparently. Yeah, I think they flinched when they saw that possible blitz coming. Well, now instead of 3rd and 7, it's 3rd and 12, but still probably looking to pass, even into the wind. Dawson and staff looking over to the coaches on the sideline.
0 for 1 on third.
Twins left, single right. Phillips behind Dawson. Fuller just off the line. Dawson steps back.
Blitz
He's looking.
again.
He flips it over to Trayvon West, who can't hold on to it.
This was intended for
And
West.
so that's going to bring up 4th down and 12.
For some reason, Dawson was feeling pressure. He stepped up in the pocket and felt like he needed to run. There wasn't a place to, and so he just flipped it out.
Yeah, did the wise thing because if he held on to it another second or two, that pocket was going to collapse all over him.
Yep.
And it was good. He flipped it out there, and Trayvon West had it in his hands, but just couldn't hold on. So 2 drop passes. That's going to go against Dawson's stats, but he didn't do anything wrong on either one of them. Dawson's out to punt now. Nice punt into the wind. It's received at the 28-yard line. He breaks 1 tackle. He's spinning around, and then he's going to go down. I think it was led by
30.
Takes the ball.
number 30, Tristan Crowder.
No, at the 30.
Oh, I'm sorry, at the 30.
And that'll be
Yeah.
45-yard.
A lot of Vikings in there.
55.
Colt Fuller, number 4, Elijah Crenshaw, number 55, Preston Gomez,
Number 9.
number 9,
First and 10.
Javion Moore.
Gomez, the deep snapper, down there making a tackle. Well, that's a first 3 and out.
Cole Benson, number 10.
All right, now the Rebels at their own 30.5-yard line. Trips left, I should say. The pass to this side, caught by number 1, and he's hit immediately. That's going to be about a 5-yard gain.
5-yard pickup on the catch.
Number 10, Harold West in there defending, along with number 14, Caleb Phillips.
Caleb Phillips on the stop.
This is a question I'm going to ask Coach at the next coaches show. We've got Caleb Phillips and some others, Sir Dorn, sometimes that play both ways at times. Now, unless I made a mistake and I saw something that wasn't, maybe it was 44, I apologize. That wasn't Caleb Phillips. That had to have been Joey Hartley.
Joey Hartley.
Yeah, my bad.
For all these
Outside linebacker. Now we're keeping
Ouch.
score on him.
You think it was my birthday or something? Wobbled snap. Now the pocket
And that-
collapses and he's going to go down.
He's going to pay for that.
Poor guy had nowhere to go. And who is he met by? None other than big number 77, Eric Williams and company.
77.
Number 42, Taj Legrone, also there.
Legrone also.
He bobbled it twice. He's lucky to didn't lose that ball again.
He is. He's lucky to get up quickly, too. He had a few hundred pounds of 3 Vikings on him. Now that's going to bring up 3rd down and 14 at their own 26-yard line.
That Rebel line is not a small group, but they're up against some strength. Long
Vincent's
pass.
going deep to the far sideline, just out of reach. And no flag on the play. Good defense. That's going to be number 4, Elijah Crenshaw, with the tight coverage along with Kobe Long.
Against Bakerfield.
Yeah, Bakerfield, the intended
But
receiver.
that was good defensive play by Crenshaw. Good position
Well,
all the way down the field.
From 1 3 and out to another, it's going to be another punt here with 5:53 to go in the first quarter. The Vikings lead 7-0.
That's the Rebels' second 3 and out.
Wolford, the punter.
They've had a fumble and 2 3 and outs.
Looks like Kobe Long is deep at our own 44. Let's see where this punt goes. Now this one
one's
stays in
high.
the air, and that goes over his head.
Hits
And
at
it
the
rolls to
30.
the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and it's going to be killed at the 2-yard line or 2.5. Why did we not just have him backed up 10 yards to run up on it with that 15-mile-an-hour wind? But here we are, 1st and 10 at our own 3.
That's what you call coaching adjustment. It's going to happen.
Yeah, and
Yards unofficially.
I believe Jay Ryan pulls out his slide rule type device and says it's a 70-yard punt. Yeah. Jay's 1 for 1 on punt yardages tonight.
That's 2 for 2.
Oh, 2 for 2.
Yeah,
He got
okay.
the first one also, okay.
I got a kick out.
Now that's what
he
you
got a kick out of
Oh
it.
my! That's what you call flipping the field, folks.
Oh. All right, so now it is 1st and 10 at our own 3-yard line. Out of the end zone, Anthony Williams this time over the left side. The ball's in the air, and I'm afraid it's been recovered by the Rebels.
Rebels have the ball.
Fumble on the play.
And the Rebels do get it. It's going to be number 35 for the Rebels, Isaiah Adams, that came up with that ball.
Number
Anthony Williams went over the left side. There was a little bit of a hole for him, but someone came in and popped that ball loose, and unfortunately now the Rebels set up in excellent field position.
And that's what happens when you flip the field and one mistake, and now you're in defending against points. And that ball went straight up in the air.
I tell you what, when Anthony Williams was going through there, kind of reminded me of Jerome Bettis, the boss from Pittsburgh, you know.
I actually thought he was going to break something, and next thing we know, here's
a handoff up the middle for the Rebels. He breaks a tackle, drags a player down to the 5 to the 4 yard line, and that looks like that's going to be a first down. Nope, they're going to mark him at the 5. So 2nd and 1. They're in hurry-up offense. Twins left, twins right. There's another hand up. Right up the middle, Johnson touchdown from 5 yards out. And like that, it's 7 to 6.
Well, when they get in that hurry up like that, you can pretty well bet they're going to be running right up the middle with that number 21. He's their workhorse. He's their bread and butter.
I got a message from one of our Viking fans that said broadcasting jargon said one-handed snag. How descriptive.
Well, that's what it was. That's what it was. Ooh!
Oh, the kick is off the goalpost. And so now it's 7 to 6 instead of, you must have seen something, Steve, because when that ball went up in the air, you said, oh, and sure enough, it hit the right upright. So not a tie game.
Yep. English, that inside linebacker, broke through on that left side, and I thought he was going to block it.
Hey, Jay, I got a message from one of our listeners said they support me, even if I do make some mistakes.
So the Rebels had a 13-yard drive.
I won't say that it was one of your family members.
2 running plays, 21 seconds.
Yep. Okay.
Scoring drive.
Not that it's a contest up here by any means. I had some fun with Jay back when I would do the stats. I would say, okay, they're 4 for 7 on 3rd downs. Well, the kicker comes out for kickoff one time, and I caught Jay by surprise and said, hey, our kicker is 4 for 4 on kickoffs tonight. And immediately he just repeats it. Kicker is 4 for 4 on kickoffs tonight. And then he realized that now that's become one of our little things back and forth. So we do have a lot of fun up here. And we actually turn goofs into some real stuff sometimes. So 5:13 to go.
Kobe Long is back, along with Javion Moore.
Yeah, Jay talks about whenever the touchback goes 15 yards deep into the end zone. It's a little bit more than most of them will have, unless you're in Canada. I think they have 20 yards. Here's the kickoff from Wooford, and that's going to be a deep kick, and it's going to be taken out of the end zone.
He caught it over his shoulder.
15-20. He'll be out to the 25. He spins. A flag right at the 25 where he entered the spin cycle.
Barnes was the kicker.
Oh, sorry about that. Barnes was the kicker. Jay Ryan misled me on that one.
Holding against the Vikings.
Rugalski brought that ball out of the end zone about 27, 28 yards, but unfortunately a holding penalty at the 25-yard line. Deja vu, I think, will be starting at the 15 again.
All over again.
Deja vu all over again.
Holding
penalty against.
All right, 5:04 to go. The Vikings clinging to a 1-point lead, 7 to 6.
At their own 15-yard line.
And that's the second holding on the kickoff, on a kickoff. And the Vikings are not doing what they did last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we slipped back into penalty land a little bit.
Yeah, we have.
And we've turned the ball over deep in our own territory, so penalties and turnovers will do it. All right, trips left, nobody right. Phillips behind Dawson. It's a handoff to Phillips over the left side. He's across to the 20, to the 22-yard line, so about a 7-yard gain. And that'll bring up second down in a short 3. Number 78, and we don't have a 78 for the Rebels, but he is out there, number 78, thanks to our spotter. 76.
Devon Mathis.
The spirit of 76 lives.
He's the
second and 3, trips left.
Big guy.
It's a keeper. Oh, and Jack Dawson gets clotheslined behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him right back to the 22, so no gain officially. 3rd down and 3. He did that zone read, fake handoff to Phillips. He went left, and someone blew through and just wrapped around his neck and clotheslined him.
They've had some good coaching, and so that that fake is not working. Phillips actually made 3 yards. He just didn't have the ball.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah. All right.
Here we go
time
again.
is Dawson to throw to this side, and he was about to get hit. And it's
number 9.
intended for number 19, Trayvon West. He was hurried by number 9, Eman Garrison. Now, I went down there. This is one of those names I went to get pronunciation. Emontavious is the full name, but they said just call him Eman. That's what we call him. So
Okay.
Eman Garrison, number 9, was the one who hurried the quarterback on that play.
And he's
And here we are.
left linebacker, and
Oh, yeah, we need a punter out there.
He
So
just had
Dawson
an
comes
open
onto the
run.
field.
open shot at him.
Number 1, Nelson deep. Dawson to punt.
Here's the snap. The rugby-style kick. It's a little bit high. It's a good punt. Oh, but it
It's
comes
at
back our
50.
direction, unfortunately, and that's going to be stopped. Colt Fuller got down there and kept that ball from coming back toward our end zone more than it was already.
They're going to spot it at the 49.
27 yards.
So 27 yards on the punt. Jay Ryan 3 for 3 on punt yardages now.
You see that field position and wind make a difference.
They do. They do for sure.
And
So
we're seeing it.
Our defense is going to have to stand up strong for about 3 minutes and 42 seconds until we can get the ball back. Twins left,
Yeah.
twins right. It's going to be a handoff over the
21
right
again.
side, 21, and he'll get about 2 yards, but he's met by several Vikings.
English inside linebacker was the first to hit him.
That's their workhorse, Brandon Johnson, the running back, coming up there.
They made it to the 46.
Number 47 leading the tackle.
So
A gain of
2 yards, 3 yards.
7.
Second down and 7 at their own 40, at the Viking 46-yard line. They've got to get to the 39 for a first down. Trips left, single right.
Benson in the shotgun.
Benson looks,
Yep.
he throws to this sideline. It's caught, but he's hit immediately at the
Pass
42.
caught by Nelson.
Nelson catches that. Joey Hartley, and let's see, who was the other one that actually hit him? Oh, that's being number 10. Harold West hit him.
Number 4, Hartley also in on the stop.
So that's down to the 43. It's
So
where they're
that brings
spotting
up third
42.
down. This is a big third down at the 42-yard line, 3rd and 3.
Yep. Yeah.
They've got twins left and twins right again. Of course, as we've said, that means twins means 2 receivers. Trips is 3 receivers to either side. They've got Nelson in the backfield to the right of the quarterback. Benson takes a snap.
Here we go.
Handoff up the middle. He's going to be stopped
Stop
short,
short.
and he's pushed backwards. They're going to give him forward progress only
To
1
the
yard
40-yard line.
to the 41.
41.
So that'll bring up 4th and 2. Now, with the wind at their backs, will they go for it?
Leading the charge for
Too long for a field goal unless that kid can punch a 60-yarder. You know, you can do a short punt and try to trap them back, but it looks like they're ready to go for it.
They're going to go for it.
Twins left, twins right. I would expect to see Lamar kind of stack the box here defensively.
Benson in the shotgun.
What do you bet number 21's going up the middle?
Showing blitz.
There we go.
Oh, he
quick
throws
pass
over the middle and is caught for a first down.
at the
And
35.
number 9, Javion Moore, makes the tackle, but that was a nice, quick, over-the-middle toss. We
Yeah.
did show some corner blitz there.
Yeah, we blitzed in, and what that did is opened up that slot.
Handoff
That's
up
a
the middle,
21.
Nelson to the 30, and he's going to be stopped there, but that's a 4-yard gain, so they're kind of in a semi-hurry-up offense situation right here, the Rebels are.
Yeah. Well, I called that number 21 up the middle. It was just a play late.
There you go. Twins left, twins right. Nelson in the backfield. Benson barks off the
Johnson in the back.
signal.
Another high snap.
Oh, yes.
21 in
Johnson
the middle.
takes the ball, my bad. He's going to break one tackle, gets over about a yard short of the first down, maybe a yard and a half. Gets to the 27.
Yards short of the first down.
Kind of hard to see where they're putting it. 20. I see one official on the 27. That's where the ball will be put. So now 3rd down and 3 at the 27-yard line. Another big 3rd down for the Vikings.
He tried to go left, and the Vikings had him stacked up, and yet he was still able to get.
We held them on the previous 3rd down, but then they went for it on 4th and got it.
And then
Trips left, single right.
here we go again.
Benson
There's that
throws
pass
over the
again.
middle again. Same thing they did on 4th down. This time, Sir Durham is the defender that tackles him immediately.
He's down to the 19.
But, Steve, they're chewing us up on third or fourth down with those over the middles for short yardage. We're going to have to figure out how to time it or play them differently because and Benson, the quarterback, he's leading that receiver beautifully, doing
absolutely.
a great job out there.
But he's only thrown to that one receiver.
So
Every pass has gone to that same man. if
9,
I'm
8
not mistaken.
seconds on the game clock. Yeah, they're about to lose their wind advantage behind them. They're not getting a play in from the sideline. You would think they'd want
Next
to.
quarter.
Yep, that'll be the end of the first quarter. The score, Lamar 7, Richland 6, but Richland knocking on the door. Well, the first quarter, a little bit more of a struggle for the Vikings than I think we might have been expecting at first, but hanging in there. A couple of penalties at inopportune times, a fumble deep in our own territory, and now these over-the-middle passes by Richland.
We like to create a challenge.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So I have the Vikings three penalties for 35 yards. Richland doesn't have anything yet.
Nope. No penalties for Richland yet. Hey, I want to make a point to note that RJ Construction sponsors Lamar Football Booster Club. And the next time you need some roofing or construction needs, be sure to call RJ Construction and be sure to thank them for supporting Lamar Viking football. RJ Construction, they've supported the baseball program, the football program. And so real happy to have them supporting us in so many ways. Also, Next Court, they're a proud sponsor of Lamar Football Booster Club. Steve, they put some really cool small to really large-size sports courts in residences, hotels, offices, campuses. So next time you need something like that, call Next Court and thank them for supporting Lamar. Back to live action, the handoff up the middle, and he is stuffed immediately by number 3, James Douglas.
Douglas blitz from that cornerback position, hit 21 in the backfield.
He just shot right into the place to be. So Brandon Johnson, number 21, not getting any yardage there.
Well, they actually gave him half a yard.
Did they? Which direction?
Second down, 9.5.
All right.
Yeah, he hit him. But that was a beautiful
And
play.
now again, the Rebels
play.
having a long time to get their play, and the play clock's down to 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3. They get the ball off just in time. Johnson up the middle, and he's caught from behind. It looks like that's going to be number 32.
Salinas.
Johnson brought down by Jerry Hood.
Jerry Hood.
32.
32. I had a 38 on that. And again, he blitzed off of the left side and
he
ran
was,
him down.
He was born in the backfield, Steve, because he tackled him from behind the line of scrimmage, or at the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout is called by Lamar.
Yes.
Okay, interesting there.
Well,
there seemed to be some confusion again almost by the Rebels. They have taken a while to get some of those plays in from the sideline and running that play clock down.
well, the defense wants to get this right. We want to hold them on third, make them try to kick into the wind. We certainly don't want to give up a first down.
Each team has taken one timeout. The score again 7-6 in favor of the Vikings. A missed extra point off the upright on the Richland touchdown earlier in the first quarter is the difference right now.
With the wind.
With the wind, yeah. But the Rebels are knocking on the door, but it's going to be 3rd and long, 3rd and 8 when we come back and the teams are coming back on the field. The ball's at the 18-yard line. They've got to get to about the 9.5-yard line. Rebels are 1 for 3 roughly on third downs tonight. They've got trips left, single right. Brandon Johnson in the backfield with the quarterback Benson.
To the left, one to the right.
And again, taking a while to get that play in. Play clock down to 10.
It's going to be a quick pass out in the flat.
Here's the snap. He's
Oh,
got a little pressure
screen
to Johnson
21.
to the 15-10, and he'll be stopped at the 11-yard line.
11-yard line.
And I want to say that might have been Jerry Hood again.
That was a good call.
Yep, so Brandon Johnson came out of that running back position, passed to him in the flat. Now he's a receiver.
On the tackle, Jerry Hood.
So 4th down and I want to say about 2.5.
Now, as the Vikings broke through and saw that it was indeed a
It's going to be a field goal
Field goal
attempt.
attempt.
Number 72. Excuse me. Here's a snap. The hold. The kick is up.
Ooh.
And that just squeezed in the left upright. So that'll give Richland a 9-7 lead now here with 10:10 to go in the second quarter.
There were two
29
Vikings close to blocking that.
Yes, and I got to say, Steve, considering kind of what's been happening, that's a little bit of a win for the Vikings right now to keep them out of the end zone.
With 10:10 remaining in
Now,
the first half.
questions to see what will happen on this drive. One, can we handle the ball cleanly and not fumble? Number two, can we mind our manners and not get any penalties?
And can we not field the ball in the end zone and run it out?
Sure.
There's an automatic 25 yards.
Yep. And don't have a holding penalty
Yes.
on the return. Kind of 2 for 2 on those, I think, tonight.
Yes.
All right.
We've received the ball twice and have 2 holding penalties.
Hey, I also want to thank North Arlington Chick-fil-A. They have unwavering support for the Viking football program as well. They do all kinds of great things for the Viking program. So be sure and stop by Chick-fil-A over there in North Collins near I-30 and thank them for supporting Lamar Viking football.
Kobe Long's back again along with Chandler.
Chandler Mrugalski. I love saying that name.
Rugalski.
Hope I'm saying it 98% correctly.
Let's see what it's like to kick into the wind for kickoff.
Well, here comes the kick. It's high,
High,
it's short. It's going to be fielded at the 23-yard line.
Number 11.
He's coming this way. It's Cam
Coming
Brady.
Cam's-
He's got some room at the 30,
He's got
35, 40,
put the burners
45,
on.
50, 45,
Put the
40,
burners.
35, 30, 25, 10, 5, kick 6, Cam Brady.
That's a kick 6
Wow.
by Cam Brady.
So they got a little cute, said, let's kick it short. Oh, we kicked it to one of their best receivers.
And
He
he
comes
ends-
all
he
the
came
way
up-
across the field.
He comes from the right hash mark all the way down the left
On the
And-
sideline and out, just flat out ran everybody.
And stepped through some tackles. I mean, there was guys trying to wrap his ankles up, and he just kind of like, wow. Well, just like that, the Vikings take the lead back 13-9, waiting for the point after. Gomez to snap, Dawson to hold. Blake Ford, the sophomore kicker, it's up. Looks good from here. The refs agree. It's 14-9. Wow, what a momentum shift that is.
That's a backbreaker if you're a rebel.
Yes.
You fight your way, you take a lead against a ranked opponent.
And having to settle for a field goal at that, too, yeah. And then all of a sudden you kick off short, and you get a 75-yard kick 6 by Cam Brady.
And I thought when Cam started coming this way, I said, wait a minute, Cam, the straightest distance between 2 points is a straight line, not a circle, but here he came.
Well, so another thing that Coach DeLay likes to talk about is you got to have all 3 elements of the team, defense, offense, and special teams. Right there is a perfect example. Okay, look, our offense sputtering a little bit tonight, right? But special teams picks it up. Now, basically, it's an offensive player. It's Cam Brady. But on a special team situation, on a kickoff return, you got guys blocking, keeping their lanes, and setting
And
it
not
up.
holding.
And no, yes, good point, Steve. No holding, yeah.
And when you come across the field, all the way across
You
the
know,
field, and you don't get a penalty.
There's some opportunities. You're right. That was quite an accomplishment right there. The wind blows the ball off the tee. Blake Ford puts it back. I think the official's going to say, you need to have someone come over. Oh, is the official going to hold it
No,
for him?
he's going to tell him he's got to have a hold.
Yeah.
That's 2. One more
So-
time. Somebody else go.
James Grondo is going to come in.
Now they're drawing
Nope.
straws to see who's going to hold it. I don't want him to kick my finger, Coach. So number 24,
Leandre Roberts.
he drew the short straw. Now, he better not pull a Charlie Brown or Lucy and pull that ball out from under him.
Well, the challenge when you're the holder is to hold all the way through the kick.
Yes. He survived. The kick is up.
Whoa, into the
Into the end zone and out of the end zone. Touchback.
Bounce 1 yard
15 yards deep, as Jay Ryan likes to say.
just before the back end zone line.
Yes. 9.997 yards deep into the end zone. Approximately.
15-yard kick.
And,
Yeah. You were going to see Blake Ford playing on Saturdays somewhere
And
in
that-
about 3 years.
That's a sophomore.
Yes, I know. Unfortunately, the colleges can't come, get them early like the pros can get them early out of college. All right, the Rebels, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line on the touchback. Twins left, twins right.
Benson in the
Johnson
shotgun.
in the backfield with the quarterback, Benson.
Johnson the tailback.
Here's the snap. Benson looks
There it
this
comes.
way. It's caught, but he's met immediately for only about a 2-yard gain, and that's going to be number 12, Sir Durham.
Brought down by
Sir's doing
Durham.
some good work tonight.
Hey, if you have 2 R's in the name Sir,
It's Sir.
It's Sir, right? Okay.
Do you trill him?
Looks like
Yes,
game
sir.
over. Second down.
So 2nd down and 8 at the 27-yard line. They got to get to the 35. Now this time trips left, single right. Johnson in the backfield with Benson. Here's the snap. It's a handoff to
21.
Johnson around the end. He doesn't have very far to go, and he's going to be stopped for no
Johnson takes
gain.
the end around on the left
We
side.
followed that one very well.
And the
Looks like number 22 was in there. That'd be Bradley Yanez. Number 9, Javion Moore.
Number 9,
There were several
22,
Vikings.
Yanez
and
on the pursuit and tackle.
And
the,
that's tricky.
the defender out on that wide receiver saw that was coming, and he came in and met him.
Yeah, released his receivers.
That's
yeah.
right.
And that's tricky. That takes a lot of thought process and conscientiousness. Twins left, twins right. Here's the snap. Benson looks back. The pockets collapse. He has a receiver in the flat. It's caught at the 28. He'll be stopped at the 33.
Number 21, a successful.
That's going to be Sir Durham that kind of reached out and tripped him up, not with his leg, but with his arm.
And that's
And that, go ahead.
there's that 21 again.
Yeah.
Workhorse.
And
Johnson.
comes out of the running back position to be a receiver in the flat.
Yep.
4th down and 2. They're going to be punting into the wind now for the first time.
Into punts.
Now,
Who's that?
Kobe Long is
They don't
it
have
Kobe
him
Long?
leaving him right off.
And there's nobody back. Oh, bad
The
bad
snap almost went over his head.
Way out of
Oh,
bounds. Way
and
out of bounds.
That's caught out of bounds by one of the training staff.
That's a muffed pit.
Let's see where they say it
Muffed
left the field of play.
50, 49.
Shankopotamus got him, and that's at the 48 in their own territory. So now the Vikings start off in great field position.
That's a 15-yard punt.
Well, Steve, he had a handicap there from the get-go because the ball was snapped high and to his right. He had to reach up for it. Then they're all doing this rugby-style kick where they take a couple of steps. But with that high snap, he had a little pressure.
And he's out of rhythm.
Yep, and there it goes out of bounds, short
So
punt.
Johnson in the shotgun.
1st and 10 for the Vikings at the Rebel 48. Dawson's back. He's going to throw. He's going
He's got him
deep.
deep. Oh,
Cam
oh,
Brady.
oh, oh, oh.
But it's out of bounds, uncatchable. There was some contact there, but that ball, now Cam Brady's looking over at the official,
12.
making a motion like he should have thrown a flag, but the official doing the correct thing, that ball was thrown way out of bounds as uncatchable.
Yeah, but Samuel hit him early and ran him out of bounds.
He did. Now, let's say had that ball stayed in bounds and been catchable, there might have been a
There
flag.
might have been a flag.
But Cam Brady obviously frustrated there, but he's ready to go again, has his head in the game. Twins right, single left.
Dawson's not quite as accurate tonight. Oh, right at the hold up.
Oh, there's Caleb Phillips, and he's going to get about 5 yards up the middle. Could drive a compact car up that through that hole.
Well,
Not quite a truck.
Get down to the 44.
25 Heinrich.
The offensive line making some holes here. Yeah, that's only about the 2nd or 3rd bad pass, I'd say, by Dawson. He's had a couple of them drop, so his stats could be a little bit higher. I don't know what the completion ratio is. But now it's 3rd down and about 6, maybe 7 for the Vikings. Blitz showing.
From the right.
Dawson throws to this side. Cam Brady catches it to 35. First down, Vikings.
At the 35.
Defended by number 12, Paul Samuel. That's the matchup down here again.
5-yard line.
And I can't read lips through those face masks, but I think they may be saying pleasantries to each other.
Yeah, they seem to be exchanging addresses. Now, I have to apologize.
Here's Phillips up
Dawson.
the middle to the 31-yard line. That's going to be 4 yards,
Phillips the ball
maybe
carrier.
3.
Three on the tackle.
Number 3 on the tackle.
Down to the
Phillips.
32.
Baskerville on the stop. To the 32.
Because Dawson was right on target with that last pass.
Yes, sir. So number 3, C.J. Baskerville, made the stop for the Rebels. 2nd down and 7 at the 32-yard line for the Vikings. Twins right, single left. Phillips in the backfield.
They're showing blitz.
And now there's a flag, and I think it's going to be Phillips in the
Took a step.
backfield. Illegal motion in the backfield. He I believe that. And he even tilted his head like, oh, man, I got busted. I got caught.
False start.
And they had a blitz
5-yard penalty.
coming on.
They did. And I think that may be part of what got him to
Yep.
move a little early.
Yep.
So now 2nd down and 12. We're behind the chains again. Need to clean up these little penalties. Do have the 14-9 lead at least. Dawson's back. He's looking. He's got some time.
He's got
Now
all
he's going
kinds
to
of
throw it to
time.
the middle. It's intercepted.
By 25.
My number,
At the 24.
he was number 26 is the one that intercepted Christian Smith Johnson. Cameron Weil was the intended receiver, but Dawson just threw it a little bit behind him and short, and Christian Smith Johnson was able to kind of reach down and scoop it up as he was hitting the ground. So another turnover for the Vikings as we're moving into their territory.
This
Not
is,
a good time. Never a good time, really, but
Yeah. This is like that very first game. We just weren't on.
yes.
Maybe the week off affected us.
Johnson, number 21.
Hope we get the better part of it soon.
Benson.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for the Rebels at their own 24. Benson hands it off.
21.
It's Johnson. He's going to be hit at the 25, but he gets 3 more after he's hit to the 28-yard line.
To the 20.
Nope, they're going to park him at 27.
7-yard line.
47.
Quentin English, number 47.
I'm going to say it's just short of the 28.
Stop.
Okay.
At the 28-yard line.
I think
The
you're right.
27.82-yard line.
There you go.
Twins left, twins right. Benson, the quarterback, getting his call, the play called in from the sideline. Johnson, the running back. Play clock at 12. He's calling out the signals. Here's the snap. Steps back, looks far side in the flat. It's caught. He breaks a tackle.
Breaks two.
And he's going to be thrown forward. The ball's on the ground.
Play.
And it looks like the Vikings have it. And let's see who comes up with it. Joey Hartley makes the fumble recovery.
Recovery of the fumble.
Well,
And, hey, I got to say this, a nice pass from Joey Hartley to the official as he was returning the ball. And
1st and 10 Vikings.
so the ball came loose. As he was thrown forward for an extra 3 yards, Johnson
he
was.
broke 2 tackles
Yeah.
and was fighting for more and lost the ball.
But Joey Hartley, he'll get the turnover belt or whatever little knick-knack they have nowadays for him.
So at the Rebel 35,
1st and 10 Vikings. Dawson's back. He's going to
got all
flush out
kinds
the
of
pocket.
run,
He
but he's
throws
gonna
it
throw.
toward the end zone. It's tipped, and it is incomplete.
Pass was intended for Trevon West.
Trayvon West is
But
the
he was-
intended
he was
receiver.
double
Trevon
teamed
West,
and-
incomplete.
Yeah.
and Dawson would have been wiser to have run that ball because he had nothing but green in front of him.
3 on the defense.
We don't have a student on the double
We'll check that again.
Baskerville, number 3,
How about 8?
and number 8, Arthur. 2 zeros.
Daylon Arthur.
You know those one play
Sideways Infinity.
Yeah.
What's that?
those one play scoring drives sometimes get us a little bit
Se-
greedy.
2nd down and 10. Dawson hands it off. No, it's a fake handoff. He's going deep. We got him. And it's Trayvon West in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. This time not to the corner, but along the hash mark. That is beautiful, and it's good to see Trayvon West back healthy and running fast.
Running
and
without-
catching balls.
Without the limp, yes.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful,
Dorm.
beautiful,
See what I did
beautiful,
there?
beautiful fake right up the middle, and
That
then
was.
Gomez to snap. Dawson.
Trayvon was wide open.
Now a little bit more of what we were expecting to see here with the lead 20-9, waiting for the point after. Gomez to snap. The hold by Dawson, the kick by Ford is through the uprights. It's 21-9.
5:22 remaining.
That was beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful.
In the
35-yard
half.
drive based on a turnover, fumble recovery, 2 pass plays for scoring TD of 35 yards. It only took 14 seconds.
14 seconds on that
So
time of
the average 7 seconds per play, like you kind of expect, yeah.
There we
Two
go.
pass plays. First
So-
one was incomplete. Second to Trayvon West for 35
We've had some
yards.
quick strike scores with that kick six,
By Ford.
that.
1-9.
And that one play TD drive.
Yes, sir. So we're better off just doing it like 1 or 2 plays into the drive, and let's don't mess with 3rd down and all that nonsense. Well, again, beautiful pass and completion. And there you go again. We've got so many receivers. Those defenders, you know, they were double covering Trayvon West in the corner of the end zone on 1st down. Now, you had 2 guys over there, but this time he cuts across this way and he gets opened. I think they were expecting that corner shot again.
But he came back to the middle
Yep.
and left his defenders.
Blake Ford ready to kick it off. The ball stays on the tee on its own this time. Kick is up. It's deep. It's going to go in
Out of the
out of the end zone.
Out of the end
About
zone.
2 yards behind the back edge of the end zone.
Outside of the end zone.
I think the concession stand was ready to catch that one.
So 5 minutes, 20 seconds left in this first half.
The Vikings overcoming some penalties and some turnovers and straightening things up a bit here
Yeah.
with this 21-9 lead.
Self-inflicted wounds, and yet they're overcoming it, which is a sign of a strong team.
Yes, sir.
You make
And-
mistakes, you don't get defeated by it, you come back and overcome.
And they're supporting each other. It's the way it should be out there.
Good.
1st and 10 for the Rebels at their own 25-yard line, following the play clock down to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. It snapped.
Oh, quick
Pass to the flat at the 20.
Oh, he's gonna-
He'll be caught behind the line of scrimmage. Joey Hartley
Hartley.
is there to gather him up.
at the
Catch
And looks like number 16, Emmanuel Samuel.
loss of 3.
15 Peed.
Oh, is it 15? It is. Big numbers, but they wrinkle up. So that was number 15, Yonte Peed.
And again,
Pead. And I did verify the pronunciation.
the defenders out there in that flat immediately broke. Were able to hit man behind the line of scrimmage.
Yep, so they're behind the chains now, 2nd and 13, thanks to Joey Hartley. Here's the snap. Looks to
There's
the far
another.
side again. Reaches up
Oh.
and grabs it, and he'll fall down at about the 31-yard line. They're going to say he stayed in bounds.
4 on the defense.
Who's the catch?
Number 17, Seth Wells, caught that ball. Number 4 for the Vikings, I believe Elijah Crenshaw was over there to make sure he fell down and didn't go any further.
That was a good catch because it was way over
Okay,
his
here's a
head.
big 3rd and 5.
Oh,
And now it's going to be 3rd and 3rd and 10 now. That was nice timing. It wasn't us this time.
that's their first.
And I got to tell you, Steve, if you're looking across the line of scrimmage at big Eric Williams and you flinch, I don't blame you. It's still going to be a penalty, but I don't blame you. All right. Eric Williams lined up in nose guard. Here's the quarterback back on 3rd and 10.
Oh, did he catch it?
He did. I couldn't tell if he was going to hang on to it, but he paid for that. He took a shot. That's number 21, Brandon Johnson.
By number 21, Brandon Johnson.
He took a shot. He was down for just a half a second or so, but
To the 37-yard line. That's
Number 4, the defender.
looks like Elijah Crenshaw was playing that side over there,
10.
hit him hard and stopped him. That is a first down for the Rebels at their own 37-yard
That's
line.
one of their best plays of the evening. Here we go passing
Back to that
again.
same sideline again. Crenshaw wraps up.
4 and 10.
Number 17, Seth Wells caught it. Crenshaw wrapped him up immediately. No extra yardage after the catch.
Marked in at the 43-yard gain.
So if you're not going to... Oh, now we're seeing a little bit of rain hitting the glass here on the press box. The cheerleaders are putting the rain ponchos on.
I didn't feel it. Did you?
No, I didn't either. At first I thought Jay spit on me, but no, it's just rain coming on the window.
Ball on the 40-yard line. The Rebels 40-yard line.
2nd down and 7. Here's the snap.
Oh, what
Oh,
happened here?
there was a snap. False start
False
against
start.
the Rebels. Well, that helps us out because now it's 2nd and 12 with them behind the chains. So,
Had to put them back on the 35.
that's 2 or 3 on this drive of these false starts.
That's
And
the
I'm,
second one.
yeah, and I don't know if part of it is because of our linemen or if part of it, the way they're bringing their plays in from the sideline is interesting.
Yep. For some reason, the stands are emptying. I don't understand that.
I think there's a run on Dickie's sandwiches over at the
that
concession
what's
stand.
going
Frito
on?
pie. Yep, Frito pie's on sale at the concession stand.
All right.
Here's a
Quick-
snap. Quick over
back.
to the flats. He's going to go out of bounds at about the 40, 39. And now it's coming down pretty hard.
12 on the
Javion Moore again made that play.
C.J. Baskerville made that catch.
Harold West made that.
Stop.
So it's at 39 now, 4-yard gain.
Now it's going to be interesting for us to be able to see numbers with the rain sticking on the window here. 3rd down and 8 for the Rebels. Play clock at 11, 10. Trips right, single left. Showing blitz. Here's the snap. He is blitz.
He's blitz number 9.
Missed, but he's going to be sacked. I tell you what, it was number 40 that got him eventually. But Javion Moore, number 9,
Blitz
he
right.
almost had him. And then number 40 comes around, Sione Tuahema, and he got him.
Yep.
On the sack.
Yeah. Well, the blitz off of the corner opened up then that defensive end to get free and put the pressure on.
9 and 40. So
Original pressure by
Javion Moore.
They had a blitz. He
And-
came
and
uninhibited.
he had nowhere to go once Moore kind of missed, but that set it up for Tuahema to get that. Now, the Vikings,
He's telling us to put some time on the clock.
the Vikings called timeout.
Okay, do it again. 2 minutes and 11
Again,
seconds.
please.
2 minutes, 11.
2-3, 2-13, 2-13.
13.
2:12? Hey, 2:12, 2:12.
There you go.
2:13 to go is what everyone's going to be happy with. So the Vikings called timeout. They have one left on this fourth and 8. And that saved about 20-something seconds from going off the clock. So
Fourth down. and
Coach
8.
DeLay wanting to get another score if we can.
Number
Fourth
20.
down
With the
and
wind
5.
behind them.
That's Wofford.
Yeah, it is.
And again, nobody back.
Yeah, I'd say Kobe Long is kind of back. No, it's number 10 this time, not 20.
Yep.
That's Harold West. Now he retreats a little bit.
Oh, it's over his head.
Goes over his head. It's going to go into the end zone. Now he's going to try to run it out.
Oh, he's going to get tackled on the 2
Now,
or 3.
he decides not to get the safety, but that sets us up for a touchdown.
Yep.
Down at the
That
All
ball,
right,
that,
I'm going to take a poll here in the booth. Who says he should have taken the safety? Okay. Who says he did the right thing? Well, no one says that. It's pretty much.
and he didn't even try to kick once he got it.
No, it looked like he was maybe going to try to throw it. Now, if he had thrown it incomplete, the ball would have come back up here,
Yes.
right? It would have been an incomplete pass.
Except it would have been intentional grounding because there's nobody around him.
Well, okay, details, yeah.
So we'll take the ball.
All right.
We'll take the ball on the 2-yard line.
Looks like the 2-yard line, first and goal.
We agree with
Single left, single right. Caleb Phillips in the backfield behind Dawson.
There he
It's a
goes.
handoff. He's over this
Touchdown.
left gap. Touchdown, Lamar. Another one-play drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, one first down on that also. And, boy, isn't that nice to go into halftime with another touchdown on the board?
That's what you call gift.
Yes, it is.
I didn't see the ribbon or the bow, but it was
Dawson to hold.
set up.
Gomez to snap.
Gomez to snap, Dawson to hold. Ford to kick. It's up. It's low. And it's no good. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, I like this.
159 remaining.
Now, number 56 comes, is that 56? Yeah, 56, the lineman, and that's going to be Gavin Kelly. He came up and patted Blake Ford on the shoulder, said, hey, you know what? It happens. So now each team has missed an extra point, and it's 27-9.
Stop raining.
Yeah, it looks like the rain has stopped. Fans are coming back to their seats. Now they're going to have some towels to dry them off or deal with some wet seats. But with 1:59 to go in the second quarter,
Is that what the seat of your pants are for?
that's it. 27-9 lead by Lamar. 1:59 to go in the second.
Okay.
Yeah, like you said, Steve, that was a gift when that snap went over his head.
And there really wasn't anybody rushing.
No.
And then when they saw it go over his head, that's when they broke.
And, you know, that's not the first time we've seen a snap kind of up higher to that right side of the quarterback. We're now punter. All right, Blake Ford to kick.
Ford to kick off for
Two return men deep. I'll bet he tries to kick this one out of the end zone.
Yep.
It's going to be caught 5 yards deep, and it is taken.
Number 21 again.
Number 21,
Brandon Johnson.
It'll be first
That guy's all over the place. I saw him filling up the water buckets.
Oh, did you?
Between the quarters, actually, too. And then he was warming up the bus earlier when they thought some people were going to have to go get on it and get out of the
Is he
rain.
going to coach?
That guy does everything.
Yep, I'd be interested to know what percentage of plays he's been involved in
Yes.
by actually touching the ball.
Yeah, as a receiver, as a return man, as a rusher.
Yep.
Benson and
All right.
Johnson deep in the backfield.
You got
All right, so they come out first and 10 at their own 25. Twins left, twins right. Johnson in the backfield to the left of the quarterback, Benson. Looks, throws to that far sideline. Is caught at the 30.
Oh, good.
He'll get a first down and more to the 40.
10,
And they're going to say he's at the 40-yard line.
Griffith making the
So
stop,
that's
not
Harrison
bad.
Griffith makes the stop.
10 Richland at their own 40.
Harrison Griffith, another baseball player that plays football. Dax, his father, one of the leaders of the Booster Club. First and 10 at their own 40-yard line for the Rebels. Here's the snap. Benson throws to that sideline again. He has to reach back. That's C.J. Baskerville reaches back for it and catches it. He did just what he had to do, because that ball was a little bit short, but he got it.
Looks like an 8-yard catch.
Second and 2 at the 48, and they're in hurry-up mode trying to get some points on the board.
I was thinking maybe it went through, but he didn't.
Going into the wind. Here's the snap.
21.
Johnson is caught in the backfield.
Going to lose yardage.
21 Johnson up the middle.
And let's see who that comes up off of him.
Loss of a yard on the play.
45 on the tackle.
28 and 45, I believe, in there.
Grimaldi
Keswin Kinney
and Kinney.
and Anthony Grimaldi in there on the tackle. And that was big because they stopped him a yard shy. Now it's 3rd and 3. Twins left, twins right. Here's the snap. Looks to that far sideline again. It's caught, and he'll have a first down. It's caught by Baskerville.
49.
And
Kobe Long, number 20, making the stop. for
Kobe Long makes the stop for the Vikings.
One of the things that is happening is those corners back there are playing deep off of those receivers.
Kind of a prevent defense. You're going to get some yardage, but you're not going to get in the end zone.
Yep.
55 seconds to play, but will they chew it up
And
7 or 8 yards at a time and eventually get there? Here's the snap.
they're doing a good job.
Now he's looking down the middle, throws deep. It's
Oh.
incomplete.
As intended for number 15, Peed.
We had number 9 and number 2 on defense there. That's going to be Braxton Thomas and Javion Moore.
And Moore.
Number 15, Yonte Peed, was the intended receiver. That does stop the clock, 51 seconds to go. Ball at the Viking 49-yard line, 2nd and 10.
I think that's the first time we've called Pete's name as a receiver, as the ball being thrown to him.
Could be.
They've been going out.
Twins left, twins right. Benson, the quarterback, steps
Here we go
back. He
again.
looks to that sideline in the flat. It's caught. Oh, the ball's on the ground.
Ball's on the ground.
And I think it went into the arms of the Vikings.
44.
44, Joey Hartley, another fumble recovery.
Joey Hartley.
That's his second tonight.
Second recovery tonight.
Actually,
So
It's the 47.
he's going to have to, get a double belt for the turnover deal that they do down there on the sideline. Joey Hartley, you can call him the headhunter at that defensive back position. He's got the belt again.
43 seconds. What do you bet we don't go
43
into the
seconds
victory
remaining in
formation?
the first half.
Yeah, I say pass it.
Well, trips
left.
Dawson in the shotgun. Who's our tailback?
I can't see him.
Trying to figure out if that's Williams. No, it's Phillips. Now the penalty. Oh, it's not a penalty. It's a timeout.
Timeout by the
Richland.
Rebels.
Time is called by the Rebels. 41 seconds remaining in the first half.
They didn't like what they saw
Now I'd like to
defensively.
interview Ryan Rozier. Ryan, how you feeling about tonight's game? Not good. Why? And then there's Rudy's opinion.
Jay's grandchildren just came up into the booth, and he's doing some interviews over the PA speaker. Hey, Ryan. 41 seconds to play, and Coach DeLay, as he would want to do, I'm sure, if we can get a few more points on the board.
Lost items.
There's really no running up the score in the first half.
Nope.
There's not. And I'll always go back to a few years ago, Joe Toronto and I were calling a buoy game over at UTA. Lamar was up 30-something to 0, and we lost that game. 30-something to 0 at halftime,
And you lost.
and lost that game.
Vikings
Knocked us out of the playoffs that year, too. All right,
Trips left.
So no such thing as running up the score in the first half. Trips left.
The only thing on the right-hand side is that tight end.
34.
That should be Colt Fuller on the tight end. Caleb Phillips is the receiver.
He's looking for more time on the clock.
Number,
Okay. Correction now. The officials have requested 44 seconds, and our excellent crew up here on the scoreboard and clock puts it on. Now the white hat, the head official, he's asking something of the side judge.
41 was right.
down,
How far down? 43?
down,
More.
4 more. Down 4, it says.
43.
40.
43.
43.
43.
Oh, 40. Well,
43.
43. All right.
All right.
Nothing like smoke signals coming out of the rain there.
We apologize for the inaccuracy of our clock operators.
Oh, no. Oh, that should be offside. That snap goes behind Dawson.
On the muff.
Now, I'm not sure if he wasn't ready or what. I thought one of their linemen jumped off sides, but he must have gotten back.
No flag.
No flag on the play, but that's going to be second down and call Uber for the Vikings back at their own 31. Now you want to be careful about throwing because you don't want to end up with a pick six right before half. And it looks like we're going to be happy to let the clock roll. 18, 16, there's a 5-second differential, game clock and play clock. The game clock will expire before the play clock, and so wisely now with that field position, Coach DeLay telling the guys, let's just go ahead and head to the locker room.
That's not the way to end a half.
No, but I'll tell you what, we're up 27-9, and I'll take that just about any time.
Well, we'll take it. Overcoming our own mistakes.
Well, we're going to take a break. The Richland Rebel Band is going to come out. We will put on the ambient, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Bill Frawley and Steve Langford for Lamar Viking football. Viking band out there still doing their performance that sets them up for the show that they do for UIL. Had a performance earlier by the Vikings.
With princesses. Good guess.
Still Fort Worth. It's still Fort Worth properties, but it's real close to Haslett. So, right now, it's like,
Well, welcome back to the broadcast. In case you are tuned back in or watched through the halftime with the bands and such, great performances by both bands, the Richland Rebels and then the Pride of Lamar, the Viking band. Steve, you've got a few factoids, data, things you want to share with us from the first half?
Yeah, both teams are struggling in hurting themselves. The Rebels had 3 different fumbles, first on their first possession, and they stopped themselves on several drives by losing those fumbles. The Vikings had an interception and a fumble, and then that long snap, that missed snap right at the end of the first half. So,
yeah, and the Vikings coming back onto the field, you hear a little bit of crowd noise.
yep. So we'll see what kind of cleanup took place at the halftime, and see if
Richland Rebels.
I have Lamar with 4 penalties.
Yeah, gonna explain one thing too. A couple of people have sent us messages. On the video feed, all you see is the bottom part of the scoreboard. In the past, I think sometimes we accidentally had the screen up there where you can see either plays live or replays. But Texas UIL, University Interscholastic League, that's the sanctioning board that rules over public high school athletics and extracurricular activities in Texas. They have a strict rule on Friday nights. You cannot broadcast a football game live. Can't show the plays live. Video. We can do it audio. And some smaller TV markets, they'll actually video, and we used to run video or record video of the games, and then it was archived to play back later after midnight. But anyway, so yeah, it's not a mistake. We can only show the actual scoreboard part, unfortunately, and we'll do our best job that we can to paint the picture for you as to what is happening through the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, make our website, Lamar Vikings.
Halftime score 27-9 in favor of the Vikings over the Richland Rebels. Teams are back on the field. Lamar, to begin the third quarter, will kick off, defending the south end zone. So they'll be moving right to left if you're looking at a phone, computer, or other device. And the Rebels will be moving left to right or north to south. Temperatures cooled off to about 86 degrees. We had a really brief kind of just a spray of rain in the second quarter, but it went away about as quickly as it came.
And the wind has shifted. The wind has shifted. Rather than southeast, it's more easterly, so it's across the field.
Nelson, deep, number 1.
So that wind is still playing havoc with the football on the tee, and so we've got a player out there holding it for Blake Ford, the kicker.
Roberts.
2 players deep at about the goal line for the Rebels. Blake Ford has been pretty much kicking these things out of the end zone. He can do that without the wind, but with the wind it makes it easier. There's a high kick. That's going to be fielded at the 2, at the 5 to the 10, to the 15 to the far sideline 20, and he'll be stopped at the 20-yard line.
Johnson out to the
And it looks like number
21, Brandon Johnson.
Credit the tackles
ball.
on Lamar.
Brandon Johnson, yeah, that running back who also gets involved in the kickoff returns and some pass plays.
At the 20-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Vikings, for the Rebels at their own 20-yard line.
Left and right.
That's a good kick by Ford. It saved 5 yards instead of a touchback. Whoa. Benson is hit as soon as he throws the ball. The pocket collapsed.
Pass is incomplete.
And I'm going to get a number here as soon as he turns sideways to us.
Who got it?
Oh, that's number 28.
28.
Number 28, putting pressure
That'll be Keswin Kinney that blew off the line of scrimmage and got back there and hit the quarterback as soon as he let go of the ball.
And he basically threw the ball away, and there weren't a lot of receivers where that ball landed.
He just had to get rid of it before he took a sack, and I think he might be wincing a little
There it
bit.
is again, and it's an interception.
Oh,
He fumbled the ball.
well, he was down, I believe, before he got rid of the ball. Yeah, they're going to say he was down and it rolled into the end zone, but wisely going back there.
Who got the interception?
I didn't see it.
20.
20. I think it's 20.
You know, I know that kid's trying to be tough, but he was hurt.
Yeah, it's
And Kobe Long,
20.
number 20, made the interception.
Run back.
So third turnover, at least. Is that the third one tonight with the 2 fumble recoveries?
3 fumbles now.
3
and
fumbles and an interception. So
Falls
4.
on the 8-yard line.
So now we're getting on the positive side of the turnover ratio. And now sets us up 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
They went back to that same
We'll see.
Along with
flare out to the flat, and Vikings anticipated it.
Whoa! Dawson does a fake handoff, and he runs in 8 yards out over the right guard. Touchdown Vikings, 1-play drive. I tell you, Steve,
4 seconds.
I think all of our scoring drives have been 2 plays or less.
Well, we're not chewing up a lot of clock on our scoring drive.
That's true.
we're trying to make it easy on
Another
Tim.
4-second drive. That's
One play run, 8 yards for
Ford to
touchdown.
attempt the point after. Dawson to hold. Gomez to snap.
Gomez the snapper, Dawson to hold, Blake Ford to kick. The snap is there, the hold, the kick is up, it's good. And just like that, it's 34-7. It's
20 seconds in.
20 seconds into the third quarter. And, you know,
That's not right.
we talked
Yeah.
earlier, Steve, about Jack Dawson not only throwing the ball, but when he needs to or wants to, he'll run it. And right there, the offensive line, that right side, made a perfect hole for him, and he went right through the A gap and into the end zone.
They had the wide receiver from the right coming across the field. They faked a wide receiver sweep. Dawson kept it, and it slipped right up that right side off tackle.
11:40 remaining in the third quarter. Lamar 34, Richland 9.
He's throwing a bunch of
That's almost as good as a score right before the end of the half, isn't it, Steve?
Well, we'll make up for it.
All right, well, let's see if the ball will stay on the tee this time. You know, I'm sure everyone would much rather just kick the ball with no one touching it or holding it,
Number 1,
especially the guy who would have to hold
for
it.
Richland, Ford to kick off.
Yep. All right. It's good old number 24 again. Of course, that's going to be Leandre Roberts that'll have to come out there and hold. I think he's 3 for 3 on holding kickoffs tonight.
Yeah, he's got a good average going.
Roberts is 3 for 3 on the kick hold.
I think Robert's parents just turned around and gave you a thumbs up, Jay. Whoa! No, it's not fake news at all.
Wait a minute. We got a flag. Delay of game?
He didn't tell me to start it. No, he whistled it. He whistled
Oh, wow. The play clock ran down.
Game call on Lamar on the kickoff.
Yeah, the Vikings are kind of lackadaisical out there. You know, all that means is now this kickoff might go 10 yards deep in the end zone instead of 15.
Kicking from the 35 instead of the 40.
pro distance here, right?
Doesn't matter that the ball fell off the
long
tee.
kick.
Wow.
And it does go halfway into the end zone. So pretty much right. Instead of 10 yards deep, it's 5 yards deep. So,
As we have said, Blake Ford's a weapon.
yes, sir.
That kicking game is a weapon. So the ball's on the 25.
Yes, it will be. First and 10 for the Rebels.
25 for the Rebels.
10 and 21.
Again, we want to thank all of the people who tune in and listen to us and follow along the game. I want to thank the companies and individuals that support the Booster Club, RJ Construction, Dickey's Barbecue, Next Court, Chick-fil-A of North Arlington. A lot of great corporate support here in the North Arlington community for Lamar High School football.
Should they run down again?
Coach DeLay is wanting an explanation on that delay.
He'll give you that.
Coach DeLay wants the delay explained.
That's right.
And now this play clock goes down to 0, but I think timeout had been called by somebody because the officials
It's
are
an
over here
official timeout.
talking.
Well, he gave him like 7.
Yeah. I don't think DeLay is happy with the explanation, but it's been given, and they're ready to play ball again.
And now the other assistant coaches are coming and talking to the field judge. And in other words, we're not going to have that call again.
Mersey-Dosa, Little Lambsy Ivy.
That's right.
Untimely delay.
There we go. Here comes 21 around the left side.
Johnson comes up to the 35-yard line. Looks like it's going to be,
35
well, maybe 9 yards. Looks like 9 yards.
All right.
I'll give him a first down.
I don't see how that can happen, though, because the line of scrimmage was the 25. How can it be first and 10 at the 34?
Correction, it's not a first down. It'll be second down and 1.
So finally, the head official, the white cap, he says, "Hey guys, you don't get a first down on 9 yards. Here's the snap up the middle. There's the first down. But he's going to be stopped as soon as he crosses the line of scrimmage.
Whoa!
In fact, he gets shoved backwards by almost literally a ton of Vikings.
Yeah, but Javion Moore that linebacker was right in the middle of it.
Leading the charge.
They did wrap him up. It looks like it's going to be about a 2-yard gain, so it'll be first and 10 at the 36.
First and 10 from the 36.
I'll tell you what, Johnson got that first down, but he paid for it.
He did. And all of the Vikings send their greetings.
Yes. Welcome to Cravens Field.
Yep.
Twins left, twins right. Here's the snap.
Except
Benson
again.
oh,
They're
going
going
to the far
deep.
sideline.
Oh,
It's
intercepted.
And that's going to be number 20. Kobe Long picks that one off. Oh, and he's bulldogged down
Reception. Brought down.
by the top of the shirt. Looks like he didn't get his hands inside for a horse collar. He got him by the shirt, actually. Good clean play there. But Kobe Long timed that perfectly, picked it off at about the 40-yard line, got about 15 yards on that return. And there we go. Now the Vikings even more so on the positive side of the turnover exchange.
So
First and 10 for the Vikings at the Rebel 45-yard line. It was 15 yards on that return. Dawson's back.
back interception. He's going deep.
Oh,
He pulled it down.
Sorry, the O was for the hit right after the pass was incomplete. That's from Rogalski. Yeah, Steve and I both got faked out on the first pump fake. I thought the ball was out. I was looking for the ball. I was like, oh, did it get tipped? But
And that's how that interception took place. They did a pump fake to that flat, and then the receiver broke down.
so now second down and 10.
But he threw into double coverage, and the Vikings picked it off.
10:30 to go in the third quarter. The Vikings lead 34-9. Trips left. Dawson throws to this side. Cam Brady at the 45 to the 40. He's got some room to the 35.
Brady on the catch.
And
He's bulldog down out of bounds. And number 26 gets up and gets in his face.
And they're doing some
Smith Johnson.
well-wishing season's greetings to one
Yeah,
another.
Christian Smith Johnson was asking for his address to send a Christmas card, I believe.
Yeah, that'd be a-
from the 35.
But that'll be another Viking first down, 10 yards exactly on that play to the 35. Cam Brady back in action here, full speed. Dawson throws over the middle to Colt Fuller, the tight end, and he'll get a first down across the 25-yard line.
Inside the 25.
So that's a little bit of back at you because of those over the middles that Richland was doing in the second quarter.
And that's tight end just went to an open spot, turned and sat down, and the ball was there.
You know, it's fun to see Colt Fuller doing that. Another baseball player, plays catcher at the varsity level.
Well, he was catching that one.
He caught that one. Really good point.
Wide receiver in motion, left to right.
He'll get you about the 20-yard line.
Williams goes to the right, to that vacated place.
Brought down by number 9, that's Garrison.
Number 9, E-Man is what they call him, Garrison.
So a
Before the Rebels made the stop.
4-yard gain.
It's going to be second down and about 6.
You know what happens every time they run, though? That skews the average of scoring.
It does, yeah. Will we score on this drive since we've had it so many times?
Oh, good.
Dawson's back. He throws to this sideline.
Interception.
Cam Wild. Oh, it's tipped. He almost brings it back down. He was double covered that time by number 48,
This was
DJ Pena, and number 26, Christian Smith Johnson.
Pena undercut him, and ball just went off his hands.
third down.
The Vikings are lucky they didn't have an interception there.
Lamar's 0 for 3 on third down conversion attempts.
So according to Jay Ryan and our statisticians up here, Lamar is 0 for 3 on third downs tonight. And this is 3rd and 6. So we've either been having some big plays or we've done a couple of those 3 and outs. Twins left, single right. Anthony Williams in the backfield. Dawson dodges one tackler. He's flushed out of the pocket. Now he's going to keep it 20 to 15.
Who didn't call it? Went down to the 16.
Just a yard short of the first down. So that's going to bring up 4th and 1, it looks like.
16-yard line.
Maybe 4th and 2. Yeah, they got to get to the 14-yard line.
4th down, 2. Short.
Anthony Williams behind Dawson in the backfield.
Williams behind Dawson.
Now Fuller comes back across.
Oh, my.
Going to be offsides, a free play. No, they're going to call it
It
a
is.
procedure.
Called the ball dead. They took one's calling it offsides.
He's offside.
Yeah, and they shouldn't have. They should have if it was offsides.
Yeah, should have stopped the play.
They stopped the play.
And that negates a touchdown.
Yeah,
Cam Brady
Ken-
caught that ball at the end zone.
No, Kennedy. Yeah, that's right. Brady caught it in the end zone.
Now the Richland coach is out onto the field asking what's going on.
You don't know what
Wow, offsides.
Offside.
That's too bad because they should not have blown that play dead. It will give us 5 yards and a first down,
Called on the Rebels.
but it negates the touchdown.
He gave you 25 seconds.
First down on penalty.
But mistakes happen, things happen, the world happens.
At the 11-yard
You know,
1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 11. They can get a first down at the
we
1
humans
yard
don't
line.
always get it right, do we?
Exactly. One time I thought I made a mistake, but I was wrong.
You were wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Anthony Williams over the right end, the right side. 5. He's trying to find the corner. He's in for the touchdown. Anthony Williams, 11 yards out. Touchdown Vikings.
Vikings.
That'll bring the score to 40-9, waiting for the point after.
Is there a flag?
No.
45 yards.
Well,
That
that's making lemonade out of lemons for sure.
Ford to attempt the
All right,
pass.
so Preston Gomez to snap.
Gomez to snap.
Dawson to hold. Ford to kick. Snap, hold, kick is up. It's good.
The kick is
41-9 is the new score with 8:57 to go. Steve, there's still a lot of football left in this game, to use that cliche, but there's a lot of time left.
There's lots of time left.
And the momentum has definitely shifted into the full favor of the Vikings here with turnovers and other things. Even with a couple of mistakes we've made here or there, we've been overcoming those.
5 for the total possession.
Yeah, we've been able to overcome our mistakes and take advantage of theirs, and the result is we're back in control. So that was a 45-yard drive. It included 3 passes, 2 runs, 3 first downs. It took a minute and 35 seconds.
Longest scoring drive of the game for the Vikings, I believe.
Yep.
Yep, Tim Perry verifies that's true.
Yep.
So
And I kept waiting for Phillips moving around that right side. I kept waiting for someone to come in from the middle to stop him. He just kept going out to more and more open field. Walked right into the corner.
And you know, we talk about that stable of receivers, but I'll still go back. I love that play where Colt Fuller, the tight end, came across the middle,
Yes.
and he was open, caught the ball, got some extra yards, and so there you go. With all those wide receivers, here comes the tight end to make the great play.
And helped set all
Take
that
us
up.
into and actually well out of the end zone.
Didn't he go through the uprights?
It might have gone just to the right, but it would
It
have
looked
been.
like it.
Yeah, it looked like it did, yeah.
It's good.
Too bad we don't get a point or two for that.
So the Rebels have the ball on their own 25-yard line. Now, so far they've
10. Johnson, number 21, the backfield. Trips
they've had the ball twice, made 1 first down, and thrown 2
Here's the
interceptions.
snap.
Here comes 21.
Johnson around the right guard, and he's going to be stopped just across the line of scrimmage, maybe a half yard.
40 and
picks
9.
up a yard.
Looks like number 9, Javion Moore, was there on the tackle. Possibly also number 40, Sion Tinaheme.
Kanaheme
So-
and Javion Moore.
Those interior linemen made some adjustments at halftime,
2nd and 9.51 yards to go.
and they are watching that 21. That's what happens when you have a workhorse who gets the ball that much. They start keying on him.
Yeah, it's getting windier than it was. You're right, Jay. He's got a lot of time to throw. He throws it into the dirt
I'm
in
sorry.
front of the defender.
Pass intended for number 21.
Now, number 21, Johnson, the running back, was there in the area code.
I apologize for my oohing. I was watching the nose tackle and the right defensive tackle, and they were breaking through, and they saw 21 going to the flat, and rather than pursuing the quarterback, they went to 21.
Okay.
And that's why the quarterback threw it in the ground.
3rd and 9 at the 26-yard line. Twins left, twins right. Johnson to the right of Benson, the quarterback. The snap, Benson straight back. Looks across the middle and in and out of the hands of number 20, Slade Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Was hit by.
Now, if he had held on to that ball and it was catchable, that would have been a first down, but instead it's 4th and 9. A 3 and out for the Viking defense.
Yep.
And clicking on all cylinders pretty much right now.
He took a hit high from Granado.
Chandler Rogalski is going to come out and be deep.
Gate for Lamar.
Now, he's pretty far deep considering they're kicking into the wind, but I still like it not going over your head.
It's easier to come up than to run back.
Here's the snap. It's a little bit high. He gets it off. There was some pressure there. It's a very short kick. It doesn't even make a first down. In fact, it rolls backwards, and it's going to be about a 1-yard punt, maybe 2.
3. It's going to be dead.
A
Kill
2-yard
on the
punt.
29-yard line.
28.
28-yard line. So that's a 2-yard
So a
punt.
2-yard punt officially. He had to get that away faster than he wanted to. He had some pressure. The wind, I'm sure caught it up in the stratosphere a little bit too. And then, of course, for his bad luck, it rolls backwards once it hits the ground.
But he had 2 Vikings pressuring him.
Yes, he did. So the Vikings now set up with excellent field position.
I would not have been surprised if that had been blocked. That's how close they were.
1st and 10 at the 27. Twins left, single right. 2 in the backfield. Now Fuller comes in motion. Dawson steps back. He's looking this way. Throws to the corner. Cam Wild just out of his reach.
Yep.
Wild had his receiver led by about a yard or 2, but that pass sails out of bounds.
Dawson was watching that direction the whole way. He's got to learn to look off.
Number 25, Ethan Heinrich. Was it 26?
I think it was 26.
You're right.
Who's right?
You're right.
He telescoped where he was going with that ball. So the
All right, Twins left, single right, 2 in the backfield. Hand off to Phillips straight up the middle. He'll be stopped just about 1 yard past the line of scrimmage, and that should bring up 3rd down and 9.
somebody had him by the shirt tail.
Going to give credit to number 35, Isaiah Adams, for the tackle. Number 3, C.J. Baskerville, also in the area. 3rd down and 9 for the Vikings.
That's where we need those tearaway jerseys.
Yes. Remember those back in the 70s days? And those running backs to go through 5 or 6 of those. That's crazy. Couldn't even read the number after 5 or 6 runs. Twins left, single right. Phillips behind. Oh, bad slap.
Once again, he
Phillips
was
picks it up. Now he's going to be sacked or tackled for a big loss.
At the 41.
It almost looked like Dawson wasn't ready for
He was
it.
not ready for that.
There was a miscommunication somewhere, and all of a sudden the ball comes sailing past him, and Caleb Phillips, the fullback,
It's a 14-yard loss.
he goes back and wisely gets it.
Yeah, Dawson wasn't even looking. He suddenly realized the ball went by him on the left.
It's going to bring up 4th down and about 18. Dawson's out in punt formation,
From the 41-yard line.
and he doesn't want the wind to catch this one and take it into the end zone. See if he kind of pushes it here.
4th and 20. You're going to
Yeah, he does do a low-level kick. There's some
holding.
and Cam Wild
And he does get called.
down there trying to cover the punt, and the Rebel had him by the shirt and was slinging him around, and I don't know how that was. Yeah, I don't know how that was not called holding, because Cameron Wild could have gone over and killed the ball before the goal line.
So not only was that not a 10-yard penalty, it ended up in a 20-yard gain. That's a 30-yard differential.
Well, or basically instead of the ball being around the 2 or 3 yard line, it's at the 20.
Yep.
1st and 10 for the Rebels. Twins left, twins right. Johnson in the backfield to the left of Benson. Benson throws over the middle. He had it for about a step, but he dropped it. That's going to be C.J. Nelson. He had it, bobbled it, and dropped it. I don't know if he heard footsteps or just kind of...
He must have taken his eyes off the ball, is what it looked like. But he was running in the open, and he had another 5 yards at least.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Rebels at their own 20-yard line. Twins left, twins right again. Now Johnson comes to... Nope, he goes back to the left of Benson, the quarterback. Here's a snap.
Run out to the flat.
Benson goes to the flat to Benson. He gets wrapped up immediately by James Douglas and says, "You're not going anywhere."
Yeah, that outside linebacker was keeping on him.
Douglas sniffed that one out.
He made a beeline for him. Lost about to what, 2?
Loss of about, yeah, I was going to see where they put it. So 1 yard loss. Back to the 19, but now it's 3rd and 11. Behind the chains for the Rebels again.
Those are 4 for 11.
They've had a lot of more than 10 yards to go downs here. Trips right, single left. Johnson in the backfield. Here's the snap. Benson, he's got some time over the middle, and out of the hands of their number 3, Baskerville.
Baskerville.
And that's a 3 and out, and that'll bring up 4th and 11.
Yep.
11.
Clock is at 5:42 left in the 3rd quarter. The Vikings lead 41-9.
I thought that's what it was a while ago.
23, Walford to to punt.
What's that, Steve?
I don't know that we ran any time off the clock.
Yeah, some quick interceptions, maybe 4 seconds. Rogalski deep at his own 50-yard line.
Here we come.
Oh, it's a low punt. It's going to be stopped on the ground. This time it's by number, is that 32? Of course, that's very good.
A linebacker.
That's how far that ball went. The punt never got in the air. It was squibbing along in 32. Jerry Hood just smothered it.
Yep.
And smartly, he didn't try to pick it up and run with it or follow it.
So the ball's on 21.
Well, another short field for the Vikings. Looks like it might be at the 22, actually.
Now last time we started on the 28 and had to punt.
Yeah.
Now we're on the 21.
Twins left, single right. Phillips takes, no, it's over the middle of Cole Fuller. And that's going to be a gain to the 13-yard line, close to the first down.
They're marking at the 14.
14, so 1 yard short. But then again, there's Cole Fuller, comes over. It's a nice fake handoff to Caleb Phillips. Cole Fuller, yeah.
We were both looking at Phillips and suddenly the ball swung past.
That's another great catch by Fuller. Second down and about 2.
I love it that the tight end.
This is a handoff to Phillips, straight up the middle, touchdown,
Out the middle.
14-yard.
Lamar.
Scamper.
14 out.
Yeah, Phillips got that ball and he was full speed by the time he got to the line of scrimmage, and he wasn't going to be slowed down.
And on number 53, Raul Martinez, kind of gingerly coming off the field. I think he took a shot to the midsection, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's the way he's acting.
Yeah.
He's saying, oh, that hurts.
Gomez to snap, Dawson to hold, forward to kick, it's up, it's through the uprights, it's now 48-9.
5:03 remaining. Lamar, 48. Richland, 9.
So the Vikings took the ball on the Rebels' 22. They ran one pass play, then they did a running play that resulted in a touchdown. 22-yard drive, 19 seconds.
Yep, highlighted by Caleb Phillips, 14 yards. That offensive line blew a hole, and I got to tell you, Raul Martinez came off the field limping, but give that guy some credit. He was in there with 2 Rebels on top of him, so you know he was pulling some players to make that hole possible. So way to go, Raul Martinez.
9. Lamar.
And Phillips was determined that time. He
Yes.
ran with authority.
Oh, yeah.
Right to 21.
He wasn't going to settle for a couple of yards, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Well, number one, there's no dust.
Yes.
Because it's been raining, it's artificial turf. Number two, he was going to go for 4 yards at least.
Yep. He was. I love the, and he ran straight on.
Yes.
He just went straight up the
He
field.
didn't try to juke or break ankles or whatever.
68.
All right, so far the ball is staying on the tee. The wind might have died down a little bit.
Number 1, Nelson. Number 26, Smith Johnson, deep.
Well,
That's a shorter kick this time. It's going to be caught at the 3-yard line, to the 5, to the far side to the 10, 15, and he'll be taken down at about the 16-yard line, 17-yard line.
17 yards.
So about a 14-yard return, but Steve, inside the 25.
not good field position.
So here we go again with Blake Ford. He can kick it out if he wants to, but hey, they're using him to his ability. Short kick it. Let's see if we can hold him inside the 25.
So that's a 8-yard differential.
Yes. Did we mention yet that kid's only a sophomore? Already. All right, 1st and 10 for the Rebels at their own 17. It's up the middle, but he doesn't have very much room. He might get to the 21.
Johnson
Looks like he got
handed
5.
out the middle.
4? Yeah, 4 yards. 2nd and 6.
47 on the tackle.
Going to give credit to Quentin English, number 47 for the tackle for the Vikings. 2nd down and 6 for the Rebels. They've got trips right, single left. And guess who? Johnson in the backfield to the left of Benson, the quarterback. Here's the snap. Benson looks this way. Throws over. And it's almost intercepted by number 4, Elijah Crenshaw.
Intended for Hamilton. Crenshaw.
Hamilton was the intended receiver, but he had to come back, jumping up and reaching out like an outfielder trying to snag a fly ball.
It was definitely behind him, and Bounced at the feet of the
Crenshaw was just almost at the right
Bulls
place.
4 for 12 on third down conversion attempts.
Rebels are 3rd and 6 at their own 21. 4 for 12 on third downs tonight.
It's hard to win a ball game when you're making 1/3 of your third downs.
Correct. Trips right, single left. Here's the snap. Oh, this has got some pressure. It's caught by Johnson. He'll have a first down. But I'm going to tell you, Javion Moore was in the quarterback's face,
Blitzed off that left corner,
and he was about a half a second from sacking him.
but
So it is 1st and 10.
they had Johnson not in the backfield, but in a wideout position. They were going for him the whole time.
Well, he started just to the left of the quarterback, and then he ran through that slot spot as soon as the ball was snapped. Now the quarterback looking for the signal from the sideline. Benson to his left. Trips right, single left. Showing blitz, no to pull back.
Johnson up
the middle, and he'll get about 2, maybe 1. They're going to mark him at the 30, so a 1-yard
1
gain.
yard. 2nd and 9.
40 on the third.
Number 40, Sione Tuahima,
Tuahima, number 40 on the stop.
makes the tackle.
What that means is that Tuahima came from that left defensive tackle position, slid down that line of scrimmage to take on Johnson.
Number 54, Braden Richard, is on that defensive line. Now, he hasn't made a tackle, but he is causing some havoc in there.
He's being double teamed almost every time.
Wow. And now the quarterback, Vincent, throws immediately. He's looking for Pede, but he was double covered, and he had to throw it faster than he wanted to. Yeah, and so Richard is playing nose guard, like you said, and he's having to handle 2 guys.
Yep, they're double teaming him every time.
5 for 13 on third
So
down.
some of these guys that don't normally get their names called, I try to point them out every so often because they're making it possible for the other guys to do the things we give a lot of credit for.
And Grimaldi over there on that right defensive tackle position is stacking up that hole as well.
Good point. 3rd and 9. Trips right, single left. Benson's back. The pocket's collapsing. He throws, and it's almost intercepted, or did he come up with it?
There are 4 Vikings around it.
I think it hit the ground. I think they self-reported, or it was obvious, but almost another interception.
Was there a rebel in the area?
Rebel. I'm not sure. Number 20 just walked across that part of the field, but now it's 4th and 9.
3rd and out. 3 and
Well,
out.
no, they got a first down, so it's not quite
No,
a
it's
3
not
and
a 3 and out.
Yeah,
They didn't get
one
first
down.
Kennedy, number 11, deep to punt.
Mugalski deep at his own 40. Now he's coming over to this hash mark. Ooh, almost blocked. The ball hits and rolls. Mugalski smartly moves away from it. It's going to be stopped dead at the 40.
4 yards, 24 yards.
5 or 46, we'll see. 45-yard line's where they're going to put it.
Vikings on 45, 55 yards away.
So not only are we getting some pressure on that quarterback, we're getting more and more pressure on that punter.
And look at the wind now. It's shifted around to the south again.
Yeah, you can see like some of the shirts and jerseys every so often just wavering like flags down there on the field level.
Flag on the north end of the field just standing straight out.
1st and 10, Vikings.
So the Vikings 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. Really decent field position again.
Fuller in motion.
Dawson steps back. He's got some time. Now he's flushed out. He's going to throw. Oh, and it's caught by Fuller
Caught by Fuller
at the 46-yard line in Rebel territory.
9-yard
1
gain.
yard short, so 9-yard gain.
on the catch.
Fuller on his knees to catch that ball, and Dawson throwing it when he got flushed out, kind of darted it at him.
Yeah, the original play was for Fuller in the flat, and Dawson was coming this way and started getting pressure, and Fuller just worked his way to an open spot. Dawson was able to find him.
Number 58, Jacarius Brown, one of those linemen down there, and number 56, Gavin Kelly, helping to protect Dawson, giving him some time to either throw or run. Want to give those guys some credit. Oop. Play is delayed.
Another delay game.
Delayed game, yep. I wasn't even looking at the play clock that time, and apparently neither were they. So instead of 2nd and 1, it's 2nd and 6, 5-yard penalty. At least we're not behind the sticks. but back on our own side of the 50, our own 49-yard line.
2nd and 6, the Rebel 51.
Well, it didn't take long for that play clock to wind out, does it?
Nope. Here's a handoff on Wheeler. He goes to the right side across the 50-45. He'll have a first down. It's the 44. So let's lose 5 on the penalty and let's gain 8 on the run by Williams across the right side. And then we go again. If it's not Phillips, it's Williams. Either one of them. Baskerville is the one that made the stop for the Rebels. But the chains move. It's 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 44.
And again, he was running with the 30.
Still in the third quarter. A minute 18 to go.
Minute 18 with the win.
Dawson's back. He throws across the middle.
And then he short arms it.
Yep.
Yep.
Pass was
It was looking for number 24, Leandre Roberts.
But he was double covered.
Yeah. He just kind of, I think he almost maybe purposely short on that just so he wouldn't have a chance of getting intercepted. He had some protection for a while, but then the pocket collapsed on him. It looks like, is that, I'm trying to call out one of these linemen. I think it's number 68, Danny Martinez out there right now, working in the trenches.
David Salas is the right offensive
Going to be a handoff to Williams. He'll come this way across the 40, 35 to the 32 or 31. This 31-yard line, and that'll be another Viking first down.
1st and 10. Tackled by Baskerville, number 3.
Number 3, Baskerville.
13-yard gain.
You know, I wonder if Baskerville has any Beagles, because they would be the Hounds of Baskerville.
Well, there you go.
Here's a guy named Wilford.
Wilford? That would be something to wolf about. All right, the Vikings 1st and 10 at the Rebel 31. Williams behind Dawson. It is a handoff. This side, he's across the 30, and he's, I'm sorry, it's Phillips, not Williams. My bad.
The ball carrier.
Down to the 29.
He got about 2 yards. He ran about 18 to get that 2.
Making the stop inside the 30.
Baskerville hounded him until he was down for a 2-yard gain. Yo, Jay Ryan says I'm barking up the wrong tree. I got to give Jay credit for the ones he's saying that you don't hear.
And now we're going to end of the quarter.
Yep, 7 seconds and ticking down. That will end the third quarter with the Vikings ahead 48-9.
Bar 48, Richland 9.
Once again, everything clicking, a few mistakes here and there, but getting cleaner as the game goes on for the Vikings. Want to take this chance one more time to thank some of our big-time sponsors that help make things possible for the Booster Club next court. And Steve, I've seen some of the things they've done at houses. I've seen the things they do at commercial places. Maybe a corporation wants to have a basketball court inside or outside. They put in some neat facilities, and so they support Lamar Viking football. If you ever need something like that, be sure and call on them and thank them for supporting North Arlington Chick-fil-A over on Collins at I-30. They are just unwavering in their support for Viking football. And, of course, Dickey's Barbecue.
Chick-fil-A has a very generous spirit.
Yes, they do. Give back to the community.
Yep.
Dickey's Barbecue makes a lot of things possible at the concession stand on Thursday nights for the Sub-Varsity games. And, of course, RJ Construction. If you ever need something done on your roof or something similar, give them a call.
So, in that quarter, the Vikings only had 2 penalties.
Colt
And they were
Fuller's in at quarterback.
Whoa.
Fake handoff. Now he's going to get sacked.
25.
Number 25 leading the charge.
Back to the
Number 28. Number 25, Ethan Heinrich, led that tackle. Looks like they're going to put the ball at the 37-yard line. I thought 38 at first, but now 37.
Heinrich maneuvered his way.
I was just about to try that out. So Al beat me to that one. The Heinrich maneuver got. I got to give credit to Al Quammen. He said it first.
17.
So pull the Heinrich maneuver on Colt Fuller.
So we have lots
And
of
it choked up Jay Ryan as he said, "Man, I can't keep up with these guys tonight."
another blitz.
There's Williams over the left side. He's got some room to the 25, 20. He's got it 15, pulling players to the 10, still up to the 7-yard line. Holy cow.
7-yard to 30-yard gain.
30 yards on that play.
30 yards. First and
Now there's a penalty flag down
there is a flag
back at the
down.
20. Now, I saw one of the Rebels running off the field with his helmet off. I don't know that that's it. Nope, they're waving off the flag. No flag. Okay.
Penalty flag.
I didn't know if it was going to be related to that somehow.
It'll be first and goal, Lamar.
So first and goal for the Vikings, set up in great field position after that excellent run by Williams over the left side. And then dragging players. Again, not only did the line get a hole for him, but he dragged some players.
And over there on that left-hand side, at the tackle position, you have Brown, who's a sophomore.
Yeah, number 68, Danny Martinez over there.
Who's a junior.
Got to give those guys some love. Number 71 on the right side there, David Salas. Those guys work hard in the trenches and very rarely get their names called. Will Martinez is back in the game. Glad to see that after he came hard. Gingerly.
Yep.
Colt, the quarterback. Oh! And he hands it off to Williams, and Williams is hit immediately.
Yeah, Garrison, the right corner, just flat blitz. He just was not touched. He just made a beeline for the running back. It's like they heard the play call.
Yeah.
It'll be second and goal at the 15.
So second and goal at the 15 for the Vikings. 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Cade Hoogerworth, the Hoog, lined up wide left.
They're blitzing again, and it made him flinch.
Sure enough.
Left tackle flinched.
Flag in the play, false start.
So that'll move it 5 yards back. So now it's going to be second and goal at the 20.
But the reality is that defender was blitzing, and he was pretty well almost encroaching.
Yeah.
I would have flinched.
I would too. But, you know, again, we've mentioned before, you get a big lead, get those guys out there, get them used to this, you know, let them get that game experience, because there will come a point where they'll have to do it. Williams up the middle.
Williams, the ball carrier.
He'll get to about the 16-yard line, so about a 4-yard gain. That'll bring up third down and goal.
Third and goal.
Interesting to say third and goal from the 16.
Yes.
Tackled by number 13.
But it's a positive play rather than back to
Will Fleischer made the tackle for the Rebels on that play.
For 5 on third down conversion attempts for Lamar.
You guys was running clock wild over there.
Lamar unofficially 1 for 5 on third down attempts tonight. Twins left, single right. Williams behind Colt Fuller. Man in motion coming across. Williams right up the middle, and he pushes his way forward down to about the 12.
12-yard, a 4-yard gain.
Garrison, E-Man Garrison on the stop.
E-Man Garrison makes the stop after Williams, but Williams trucked his way up. So fourth and goal at the 12-yard line. Call it to 12. They don't look like they're going to go out for the field goal. I think they're going to say, hey, let's just see if these guys can get some yardage.
Let's give them the chance.
Yeah. If you don't make it, you pin them deep, unless you lose yardage somehow.
Yep.
Twins right, single left. Fuller the quarterback. Williams behind him. Colt Fuller steps back. Now he steps up out of the pocket, looks to the corner, and he throws to a double-teamed Cody Wise.
Beautiful play by number 12 just to reach out and knock it down. And
yeah, Paul Samuel, you're right, Steve. Coming up there, timed it, knocked it down. But hey, the backups made some yardage on that drive, so good for them. And they're getting that game experience. 8 minutes to go. Lamar leads 48-9. Rebels will come out first and 10
on the 12
from their own. Yeah, 12.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Here we go. They're gonna throw it.
What?
21. Oh, my.
Johnson stopped immediately.
From Benson.
They got 2 running play.
37.
Picks up 3 yards.
So
Second
number
7.
37, Eric Smith, in there on the tackle.
Middle linebacker. He stepped into that hole and said, hi, I know you.
Dorian Joe, number 31, now playing the nose guard position. Got number 40, Sione Tehama, On the right side on the line,
Grimaldi's left defensive tackle.
Same one over. Do it again.
twins left, twins right.
21
Handoff
again.
up the middle to Johnson, and he's wrapped up
Johnson
quickly.
making the handoff.
Maybe 2 yards.
I just called Grimaldi's name. They ran right at him, and he was there.
Good call, Steve.
Smith, number 37, making the stop.
Ball on the 16. Another 2-yard run.
Third down and about
Third down
6.
and 5. At the 16. 5 for 13 on third down conversion attempts.
Well, Johnson is going out.
Yep, Johnson's leaving the field of play. They've brought in another running back and try to get his number when he looks this way. Play clock at 2-1. They snap it just in time. Fake handoff over the middle, pass complete to C.J. Nelson. And let's see if they, I think it's a yard shy of the first. Nope.
Nope, they're giving it to him.
Well, I guess that,
22.
so number 22.
No, at the 22.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Number 23 is the new running back,
First and
and
10
that's
Rebels.
Jackson Wolford. Replaces Johnson. Twins left, twins right. First and 10 Rebels at their own 22-yard line. Looking for the signal from the sideline, taking a lot of time.
Wolford's 6 foot,
The official
213
comes in and
pounds.
adjusts the ball to the correct spot.
He'd be a good fullback instead of tailback.
Now,
Now we haven't called timeout. Uh-oh.
Oh, he's telling me you.
Reset the... There we go.
You tell me to stop.
They were talking to you.
Yep,
are you talking to me?
I get it.
5:40 to go. Here's a snap.
Yep,
It's up the middle to the left side. He'll be stopped immediately. I see number
29.
40 in there this time.
Number 20,
Sione
ball carrier.
Tuhama.
Jackson Wolford. Tahema making the
Wolford,
stop.
the ball carrier.
37.
Is that the 25? 3-yard game.
Eric Smith also in on the stop.
Eric Smith helped out on that stop as well. Second down and about 7 at the 25-yard line. They got to get to the 32 to keep their drive alive. With that first down.
Doesn't appear to have the speed that Johnson does, but he does have the size.
Play clock down to 8. Here's the snap. Benson
Nice.
steps back. He's got time. Now he's under pressure. He's going to be sacked by number 31.
Sack.
And that's Dorian Joe. The nose guard came right through there. And he didn't have much time in the pocket. Got flushed out. And that's back to the 15-yard line.
10-yard loss.
So 10-yard loss on that sack by Dorian Joe.
Third down and 17. They're 6 for 14 game to date on third down conversions.
The Rebels.
That's a great play by that nose tackle.
Oh, beautiful.
Because normally that nose tackle is going to get double teamed, and he
Yeah. He
He makes
headed
the
to the
sack.
right and went around. Third and 17. Benson's
he's
back.
spotted.
Now he's got a long throw
my.
downfield, and it is caught by number 3, Baskerville.
This is caught.
Wow, he reached up and grabbed that. He
The
had
40-yard line of
a defender in his face the whole time and managed to snag that ball.
But he was taller than the defender and went up over him.
45-yard.
45-yard,
First and 10.
maybe 46.
So that is by far the best play, the biggest play of the evening for either team.
First and 10 for the Rebels at the Viking 40-yard line.
45-yard play.
I would have been in the evening.
They got the win.
Here we go.
Handoff up the middle
Number
to the right
23
side.
on the carry.
He's going to get to about the 36-yard line.
26.
Stopped by the...
That's Wolford, who's come into the game in place of
Darius
Johnson.
Pendleton
Oh,
making the
Darius, born in the backfield, Pendleton. He
stop.
came up through the ranks of JV and freshman. That's the nickname I gave him last season. He would get in that backfield before, seemed like before the ball was snapped. Obviously not. Darius Pendleton made the stop there. Had fun visiting with his family sometimes after the games. Oh, and almost caught 12 yards further away. That was interesting. He's pressured, Benson is, throws it over the middle, it's tipped up high, and then Hamilton almost makes a diving catch unexpectedly 12 yards down the field further.
That's a great play by by the linebacker,
Oh, yes.
seeing that they're doing that across the middle again. Here, they're coming at me. We're not going to do that this
14 on
time.
Third down conversions.
3rd down and 6 at the 36. They've got to get to the 30 for a first down. Obviously, 4-down territory for them.
Last time they only made 45 yards.
Yeah, on 3rd down. Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Here's a snap. Benson throws this way.
Oh,
Caught by number 1. He's to the 35 to the 30.
Pass is complete to
And
Nelson.
it looks like they're going to give him
30.
at the 30-yard line. And he is down. C.J. Nelson took a shot at the end of that play, and he is down on this sideline. He rolls over to his back. Our training staff immediately over there, Rachel and the others, and now the Rebel training staff makes their way across the field as fast as they could. He's up. Well, that was scary looking because at first he just looked to be limp on the ground, favoring his left leg.
C.J. Nelson. Let's give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Up and moving. 1st and 10 Rebels.
He's going to need some help to get off. Something happened either with his knee or ankle. Yep, he's getting some assistance to get, and that's going to be a long trip all the way across the field.
Can't put any pressure on that left leg.
No. That is a long way to hobble. Approximately 50 yards, I believe.
One of those big linemen need to go over there and grab him.
Yeah, carry him.
Across there.
Maybe Jay's son-in-law Caleb could go down there and fire him and carry him across. Now, I'm only laughing because Nelson says, to heck with this, getting help from a trainer. I can hop one-legged across here much faster than you guys can help me.
And he hobbled all the way across.
He did.
1st and 10
One
from
hopped.
the 30.
All right, twins left, twins right.
Walford next to
Wolford,
Benson.
the running back next to Benson.
This third first down on this drive started at
11-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 30. Low snap. Oh! He is smacked immediately. And that was a team effort by number 45,
Number 45 for Lamar.
Anthony Grimaldi, and number 40, Sione
Grimaldi.
Teohema.
where did those boys come from?
Talk about born in the backfield.
That was a
Wow.
that was a 6-yard sack.
I feel bad for Benson. It was a low snap. He reaches down, and as soon as he picks it up and gets upright barely, he is hit by both of those players, and he's coming off the field. He took a shot. Officials call a timeout to let him get off the field. Number 11, Jake Kennedy, will come in to be quarterback now.
Jake Kennedy in to take the
Kennedy's a junior,
quarterback.
6 foot.
Number 11.
175-ish pounds.
Here's a snap. He's gonna get sacked. He looks like he did a zone read, and he got
Ready to come
sacked.
away.
And again, number 45.
Tahuma, number 40, and number 45, Grimaldi, making the sack. 2nd and
Number 26, is that out there? Oh, Darius Pendleton got in there also.
Middleton
Another-
also in on that sack.
Another 6-yard loss.
3rd down and 22. Yep.
That's what you say. Welcome to the football game.
Yes.
3rd and 22.
So you got to give some credit. These are not the starters on defense for Lamar, and they're giving that team heck out there. I love it. 3rd and 22 at the 42. Here's a snap.
Again low.
Now he's going to run up the middle on the keeper, but he gets caught from behind by number 40,
Gain of 2 yards.
Teohema.
11. Kennedy on the quarterback keep.
Teohema's having a good quarter.
He is having an excellent quarter.
Yep.
Yeah,
4th down.
4th down and 21 after the 1-yard gain. That was a quarterback keeper by the new quarterback, Jake Kennedy. And, you know, they're going to get some yardage out of this if they can. They could try to pooch punt it down to the 5, but you may as well try to get some yardage, make something happen on 4th and 21. Here's a snap.
And it is
He's
a
back, throws to the
pass.
far side, way short of the intended receiver.
Well,
In fact,
I think
is
that
that Crenshaw that made a dive at it? Yeah.
Ball goes
He was
over
pressured
on
again.
downs. Lamar will take over
So Lamar takes over
at the
at the 41-yard line in their own edge of the field, into the field. 33 seconds to go. I expect to see just victory formation here with the 48-9 lead, 33 seconds to
All
go.
it takes is one knee, and then we're
Next week, Friday night, the Vikings play the Martin Warriors to open district play over at UTA.
important game.
It is. Martin's different this year than they were last year. And now they play over at UTA for the home games. You know, up until a couple years ago, they played here at Cravens. And then 2 weeks from tonight is homecoming. Fuller, no, I'm sorry, Jack Dawson back in to take the knee. Jack Dawson came back in to be the quarterback for the final snap.
Dawson takes the knee on the last play.
And the clock will wind down.
The game will finish at Lamar.
And the final score is going to be 48-9. Well, Steve, it was kind of a iffy start in the first quarter. Richland was holding their own, kind of thanks to our penalties and turnovers and mistakes.
Made lots of mistakes, shot ourselves in the foot.
But what happened?
Second half, they came back and they were clean.
Yeah, even in the latter part of the second quarter, cleaned things up quite a bit, turned it around and set it up for a wonderful third quarter, and then you get to bring in the subs in the fourth quarter and ride the thing out and give them some experience as well.
The end of the first quarter was 7-6. By halftime, Vikings had scored another 20, and Rebels had only scored 3.
Well, for the third year in a row, Lamar starts off 3-0, and they're getting more and more momentum each week that it happens. So this does look good as it could look pretty much. If we can start off strong against Martin, don't start off with those penalties and turnovers, I think we stand a really good chance next week.
Yep. We're gonna need it as we go into district play, but you know, sometimes having that week off has a negative effect.
It could.
You know, we get well, that the positive is you get some healing.
That's it. Well, that's going to wrap it up. With Steve Langford, I'm Bill Frawley, and we will say VFND, our next broadcast, as far as we know right now, 2 weeks from tonight for the homecoming game. Be watching in case something happens next week. Good night.